What's up, Fight Fam, and welcome to the Boxing Bros podcast. This is episode 1, and of course, I'm here with my co-hosts as always. I'll let them introduce themselves.
This is Trill.
And it's G.
TBE, what up, world?
Yeah, we decided to let Ned the cameraman be on the podcast. He serves no purpose, but we let him
relief.
but we let him on anyway. Maybe he's going to start watching the fights. So we decided to start this podcast off with Trill giving us a recap of the fights that took place last night.
Last night, Carl Frampton, after being out for a while, he came back and made his return against a kid named McCleary. The kid only had one loss. He's from Toledo, Ohio. He was undermatched. He was a young kid. He was undermatched. He needs to, head back to the gym and learn to box a little bit. But Carl Frampton showed why he was there. He just wants to come in. He wants to be 3-time world champion. He wants to try to get a belt at 130. I think that can happen. The Jekyll was in prime form. Dropped the kid twice with body shots, but it went the distance. And Carl Frampton pulled off the victory in that. And he looks on to fighting next and becoming another champion at 130. I think he could do it. His fight with Leo Santa Cruz. Remember, he had that first fight with Leo Santa Cruz where he won, and he actually lost a rematch against Leo Santa Cruz. But it's the Jackal, Kyle Frampton. And his next fight will be in Belfast. They want to do something in Belfast. They said they could make it happen. And maybe him and Oscar Valdez. But Valdez was fighting in the main event. His the person he was supposed to fight, I want to say Guerrero or Gutierrez or something. He was 11 pounds overweight. He didn't even look like he was trying to make weight. Bob Arum was furious, and they got a last-second replacement in. The kid Lopez, his dad was a silver medalist and ended up losing his life. I don't know where from, but this kid, he dedicated this fight to him. It was a last-minute fight. This kid fought really well. He dropped Valdez in the second round from an uppercut, but Valdez was able to weather the storm. And in the 7th round, the ref stopped the fight after Valdez dropped the kid Lopez. I thought it was a premature stoppage. I thought the kid could have continued, but they got other things set for Valdez to face. They weren't trying to make Valdez fight a big opponent in 2020, so I see them stopping that fight because of that. But shout outs to the kid Lopez. He fought his heart out. Cecilia also fought. She put all 4 of her belts on the line, and she won every round in my book. I want to see, they was talking about Carissa Shields, if that fight will ever take place at a catch weight. Will it ever happen? I would love to see that fight. Both women are undefeated. It would be a good fight. See a skills versus skills fight. So that was just a rundown of the 3 major fights that happened last night. They were good fights. Good, exciting fights.
Yeah, and that Cecilia Brickus fight, I saw the first 2 rounds, and I saw all I needed to see. But the thing about the Clarissa Shields versus Cecilia Brickus fight is just she's old now. So it's not like, regardless of what would happen, I kind of feel like she'd be past the prime. But we're going to move on.
Well, listen, Wilder got credit for being on TV. You know what I'm saying?
We're talking about a real heavyweight fight right now. We're going to talk about a real heavyweight fight right now. December 7th in Saudi Arabia, where myself, Kaden, and Ned the cameraman, we get back in style, baby.
Yo, Fat Boy season ended early, baby.
That's right. So we're going to talk about Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz 2, the rematch. So one thing, I'm not sure if you guys heard, but Andy Ruiz said that he felt like Anthony Joshua quit in the face-off they had.
Oh yeah, face-to-face.
Yeah, he was asked the question, did he think Anthony Joshua quit? And he said a little bit. Basically he went on to say, he kind of backtracked. He was like, well, he was on his feet and the ref stopped it. And so I'm asking everyone, do you think Anthony Joshua quit in that fight? True.
Yes, I believe Anthony Joshua. He quit at the press conference. That's when he quit. That's when Anthony Joshua quit.
See, I thought he was gonna go somewhere else.
Nah, he's right though. He's right. I'm gonna go ahead.
I believe he quit at the press conference when as soon as he handed Andy Ruiz his belts. That's when he quit. He handed him the belts. He was like, "Hey, you're the next champ."
Here you go, champ.
He's like, "Here you go, champ." You know what I'm saying? That's when he quit, and I believe he did. I believe that AJ mentally checked out that fight. He mentally quit that fight. You know what I'm saying? He been checked out that fight. So yeah, I agree with what Andy Ruiz was saying. I believe he did. I believe he.
You know, it's funny that you went that route because at the end of the face-to-face, Anthony Joshua says, "Where's the belts?" And Andy goes, "They're in the vault."
In the vault.
And he was like, "Oh, okay. I was gonna take a picture with him." Like, so it's like you said, yeah.
He know what it is. That's psychologically, AJ wasn't in that. It just looked weird. Like even before the fight, we were saying it looked weird. You know what I'm saying? We was mentioning the things like when we did our predictions. If y'all don't remember, we did our predictions on Boxing Bros when our show first aired, and we all was saying that Andy Ruiz. Well, I remember saying that it wasn't time. I said Andy Ruiz. This is not time for Andy Ruiz. It's too soon. I was saying it was too soon for Andy Ruiz, and I was saying that things seemed just weird, like how AJ didn't care. It's like he was just giving him his belt, saying, "Here, guy, hold my belts." You know what I'm saying? It's like we were saying how weird the whole press conference and stuff before the fight even went down. You know what I'm saying? So that just shows. It goes to show that not only is boxing physical, it's more mental than physical. Because you have to be mentally right in your head to go in there and fight. And these guys are gladiators. And they're going in there and fighting for 12 rounds, 12 hard 3-minute rounds. You know what I'm saying? That's great. You try fighting somebody for 2 minutes straight, you're going to be gassed out. So you do it for 12? Man, listen, these guys is warriors, man. But his mind got to be right. So he definitely quit that fight.
G?
I'll be honest. I don't think he quit. I think he was concussed. You know what I'm saying? And so when you're trying to listen to the referee's commands, but if you're messed up mentally, you just can't. You know what I mean? And so he's leaning back when the referee's expecting to move forward, and he's just like chilling. And I think he was just thinking like, "Yo, I'm the superstar. Like you're supposed to give me some time to gather my faculties." And the referee's like, "All right, you done." And then AJ's like, "What you doing?" You know what I'm saying? Like, seeing that didn't tell me AJ quit. It just told me, like, AJ was really messed up. And he just needed some time to get his legs back. The referee was like, man, rightfully so. I think the referee saved AJ's life. You know what I mean? The ref was just like, nah, man, you're not fit to go back and continue on this fight. So I don't think he quit.
I get what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? When I mean like he quit, I mean he quit. Like he quit before the fight started. Like he mentally wasn't there. He quit when I say he was walking in. I'm not saying like he stood up.
No, I know what you're saying.
Even in the fight, he stood up. Yeah, he was concussed and all that, but you can tell like somebody that keeps getting up, but he had that smile in his face. It's kind of like being embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? He had that embarrassed look on his face, like you know what I mean. He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there. Of course,
you can't say he would have stayed there.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to be there. Pride. He still had pride, but he didn't want to be there. He was looking. He was smiling. Even the smile on his face is like he wished he was everywhere else but there. You dig what I'm saying? There's plenty of fighters. You watched boxing before, right? There's plenty of times guys done got up. You know what I'm saying? After been dropped 5 times and they still got up and they know they don't have a chance to hell win it, don't want to be there, but they still gonna get up. They still gonna stand up.
But you know what I'm saying? That's not quitting.
But they don't want to be there.
They don't want to be there, but that don't mean they're
what I'm saying? Like the quitting comes in different forms. Just because the guy didn't just sit on his butt. Like he quit. He quit. He showed that he was done. Like everybody's gonna just stay face. That's why you got cornermen to be like, I'm stopping this fight. I'm the one that stopped this fight. Because of certain things with pride and stuff like that, of course he's gonna still stand up. He still got his pride, but he didn't want to be there. He still was quitting. You know what I'm saying? He showed to me. He wasn't like Finley was like, oh stop. He got up and he was still slow. He was looking at him. You can stand up and look at a ref a certain way before have the ref stop.
You don't remember? I forgot what round it was when he got dropped and he went to his corner. He was like, yo, what hit me?
Yeah, he didn't know what hit him.
Because he
that's
was
another
concussed.
thing. And that was another no, that's another thing is too about the corner too that I realized by watching that documentary. You just brought it up. I've never once said that AJ needed to change his corner. But after watching that documentary, I was like, damn, I see why people were saying it. Because his coach didn't tell him what to do, yo. His coach never told him what to do, yo. That's why he was asking what I got hit with. You know what I'm saying? His coach never said, oh, you got hit with this one and then do this. You know what I'm saying? He never told him. It's like it reminded me of a situation from when I forgot the fighter. He got dropped. And in the corner, they didn't know what to tell him. You know what I'm saying? He was like, what happened? Hey, put some swell on him. Put the swell on him. You know what I'm saying? Give him water. Put the water on him. You know what I'm saying? They didn't tell him what to do. You know what I'm saying? He kept asking him, like, what happened? You know, he was asking him, like, what I get hit with. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I feel like he got quit. How you feel about it? You think he quit on that fight?
There's a lot of things that played into this. Like, I wouldn't say he quit, but he was unmotivated to like fight Ruiz the first time because Jarrett Miller was talking all beefy and out of line, and AJ was gonna make him like.
That's who he wanted to fight.
Yeah, he gonna make it. He gonna make Miller submit.
Yeah, that's who he wanted.
He
to
wanted
fight.
Big Pharma.
He didn't want to be in there with this guy Andy.
He was looking for a last minute replacement. He wanted Ortiz. He couldn't get Ortiz, and then Ruiz comes out of nowhere, and he's just this nice, polite guy. And AJ's like, I'm not gonna like beat this guy up. Like you know, that's his mindset. He's a nice guy. My bad. That's just a sad habit, yo. So AJ's mindset was, I'm not gonna brutalize this guy, you know, because he already mentally checked out. He thought it was gonna be an easy win. This fat, chubby kid who just so happy to just get punched in the face by Joshua. When Joshua knocked him down, he thought he had it over with, but I don't think he quit in that 7th round because he did spit out his gum shield. I thought he did that to buy him more time. So I don't think the ref,
he should have done.
Yeah, which the ref didn't notice, or the ref didn't did.
Did you watch one night? I just want to know.
I watched a couple of documentaries. Which it was one.
No,
night.
you're actually the one who sent the link to one night.
Yeah,
so I just have a question. Did you watch one night?
It was just Sylvester Stallone.
I know who was in one night.
I watched it. I watched a lot of.
I just want to point out something to you, to just teach you for the future. The fact that I had to ask you that question like 4 or 5 times and you didn't answer it directly tells me you're being dishonest.
No, I watched it.
So if you watched it, what did the ref say in that?
The ref said it looked like he wanted more time, but I couldn't give it to him, and he waved off the fight.
I don't recall the ref saying that.
He said that. He said AJ was looking at the end. He said AJ wanted a little more time, but in boxing you can't give him that much time.
He said no. That's not what he said.
What did he say?
He said he saw a man who was finished, and he looked across the ring, and he saw that Ruiz saw it too, and so he stopped it because he wanted to save AJ.
I could have sworn he said, I didn't want to stop the fight. He looked like he wanted a little more time. But
that's not what he said.
He
said he stopped the fight because when he looked at AJ, he saw a man who was defeated.
He did what you said too. But
do your Googles, pull it up.
I'm just saying, the rep did say that though.
No, he said he dropped the mouthpiece to buy him more time.
Yeah,
but he's looking at a defeated guy. He was looking at a defeated guy.
Here's the difference. I get into this type of stuff all the time. I'm a logic person. Yeah, he acknowledged that Joshua was looking for more time, but that's not the reason he stopped the fight. The reason he stopped the fight was because he saw Joshua was finished, and he looked across the ring, and he saw Ruiz knew it too. Okay,
he seen Ruiz looking at
and
fish
and chips. He saw Ruiz looking like, you send him back out here, boy.
Ruiz like, yo, we in your loft tonight.
Yo, listen, AJ also said he didn't remember anything like after the fight.
And another thing too is like with you and G gotta understand, like a fight is not just when it's in the ring, So when I say he quit in that fight, I'm saying he quit before the bell even.
No, I acknowledge that.
I'm not just
talking about that walking into the ring.
Yeah, I'm not just saying.
Was done,
I'm just not saying like I say he didn't quit. I'm like he quit before he even walked in the ring because the fight starts before you even get in the ring, and he quit that fight.
Nah, I thought the question was, and correct me if I'm wrong, Katie. I thought the question was, did he quit in the corner? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the controversy. Like, did he quit?
It's actually Andy Ruiz said he thought Joshua quit. And so, just basically, I was asking, do you feel like
Yeah,
he quit?
because but like, I think it's because so many people have been saying, "Yo, AJ quit. He could have kept going, but he quit," and that's been the whole controversy behind
So
it.
I'll jump in right now. I agree in part with Trill, and I agree in part with you. So where I agree with you, G, is that I don't think he quit in the ring in terms of fighting. He's a fighter, so he's on autopilot for the fight. But mentally, I think he was gone.
Yeah.
Like Trill's saying. I think Trill's saying, like, physically, he was in the ring and he was going to fight. Yes, he didn't quit fighting. He got back up, but his mind wasn't trying to win.
Exactly.
Like you saw when he fought Klitschko, when he got up, he was like, I'm in this
trying
fight.
to get back.
I'm in
That's
this
what I
fight.
was gonna mention. Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna when he got up, and there was
And he was hurt.
Clearly,
No, and Klitschko.
No, he was
like,
hurt.
Yeah.
He wasn't hurt when he got hit by Ruiz.
Exactly.
Like that was a different hurt. Did you see him? Like when he went down, he was like that. When he got hit with Klitschko, he was and winced in pain and went down in pain. He was hurt. And then he got up and get some get back. You dig what I'm saying? He was like, you got me. Let me just get this round off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he was avoiding shots.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
he looked more elusive in that fight than he did. But here's the other thing. And if you watch One Night, Ned, if you watch One Night, they show a point where Joshua goes like this. He takes a deep breath to gather himself, and it's like that lets me know it's not even the fight, bro. It's mental. Yeah. It's like all the pressure, it's the lights, it's everything. All that beat AJ. Like it was all that. It was like he wasn't even like Ruiz. And then like Mike's like, what are you doing? You don't let your opponent see that. Like everyone, that's like mentally he was gone. Like he wasn't even thinking about Ruiz. Like, do I think he quit fighting? No, I don't think he quit fighting. Yeah. But like Trill said, I think he mentally he was done. Now, I don't know if it was the pressures of being the champion. I don't know if it was trying to come to America too soon. I don't know what it is. But I think one thing people forget is Joshua became a champion at a very young age. Mm-hmm. He's put on big fights. He's fought the best back to back to back, which is something that Trill doesn't like, and I don't like it. I think you do need some tune-ups in between. It's what Felix Trinidad did, and I think it ended up costing them later. I do think you need to, and I think they viewed Ruiz as a tune-up, and wrongfully so. But what I'm saying is, I do think when you're letting someone hold your belts and take pictures with them, to me, that's just a sign like something's wrong with this dude. Yeah. Like something's wrong.
I honestly thought when he did that because he thought, yo, Ruiz is food.
Yeah.
But that's still saying something's wrong with you. Floyd won't let anyone hold his belts. Like, are you kidding me?
Facts. I
don't care if it was food or not.
But I'm speculating here. But I'm gonna imagine the fact that he's from the UK, he has that whole gentleman vibe. Maybe he just was
I don't
like,
want to hear
I'm just speculating.
Yo, Manny Pacquiao is one of the nicest fighters ever. You ain't taking his belt.
Exactly.
You're not holding his belt.
I agree. I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
And the thing too is, I think he was AJ. AJ was fighting for titles with 14 victories and these big with 17-0 and fighting the Klitschko. Like, give this kid a break, yo. Like, really. Like, if you gave him Wilder's competition, if you gave him Wilder's competition, you know what I'm saying? We'll be talking this would be a total different conversation we'll be having.
He have the same record.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He at the bare minimum, he'd have the same record.
More knockouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. I mean, people forget, like, this is pressure. Like, this is pressure. It's pressure. He was under pressure, and not only is he from the UK, you know what I'm saying? This is, like, we was talking about sales, and we was talking about Wilder earlier, and we was talking about sales, you know what I'm saying? Like how, they would say this because of the Wildest. Nah, it has nothing to do with the, he comes from a place where these guys, they really support their fighters. Mm-hmm. Not only, even if there's some guys that you don't never even heard of, you know what I'm saying? Like, they come out for Carl Frampton. They come out for guys like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were saying how, Chisora was saying how, but they came out for Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys in the UK, they come out and they support their fighters. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we don't do in the US. It has been because we have so many other teams and other sports and everything going on. But this is why they get the support that they get. So I think with AJ, with all the support he got, and he was so bent on fighting the dude that was talking about his mother, you know what I'm saying? Dude was in there talking about his mother, talking about we was gonna take the thong off of him and everything else. You know what I'm saying? And when this guy failed one drug, not one, not two, but 3 drug tests, he was just like, I'm done with all this, man. I'm done with all this. I'm done with all this. And that's what I think it happened. You know what I'm saying?
I also think when you look at the Americans that Anthony Joshua fought prior to stepping in the ring with Ruiz, I just think he thought like America was soft. Like he fought Brazil, and if you look at Brazil when they were like face to face, and he was just like, "Come on, man, you're not like that. You know, you're not about that life, bro." And then like he fought Charles Martin, and Charles Martin was like, "Walk this earth like a god."
He fought American hot dogs.
Yeah, he fought like American dudes that went in there to get that money. Mm-hmm. And he thought Andy Ruiz was the same guy, but no, my brother.
Andy Ruiz used to eat Popeye's chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Andy Ruiz was really trying to change his life.
Exactly.
Charles Martin went in there for $6 million.
Yep. So going off of that, Abel Sanchez had stated how before Anthony Joshua Ruiz won, you saw Joshua doing a bunch of interviews, riding in limousines, and just being about the glamour and glitz of being the heavyweight champion. And he said now he hasn't seen Joshua. In the pictures he's seen of Joshua, it looks like he's training his behind off. He said, and now you look and you see Ruiz doing interviews, and you see Ruiz in the limos and doing everything. Do you think the lifestyle? And he says, and Abel also said that lifestyle makes you soft. And so he's saying like now it's not going to be the same Ruiz that was able to take the left hook in the right hands from Joshua in the ring on December 7th. Do you agree with that? Do you think we're going to see the same Ruiz, better Ruiz, or do you think that he's going to Hollywood after the win?
I believe we're going to see the same exact Ruiz. I think we're going to see the same exact Ruiz, no better, no less. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to get the same Ruiz that showed up that day. I just think that we're going to get a better AJ. You know what I'm saying? The same Ruiz, but a better AJ.
All right, Ned?
Nah, I agree with Trills. I think we're going to get... Ruiz is going to come out thinking he's going to fight the same fight, or he's going to try and chase down Joshua this time. But I think Joshua's going to come and fight. Joshua's ready and prepared for him. So
G?
I think Ruiz going to come in better shape. I don't think, the Rolls Royces or those them Hummers and the lipstick and the guy liner, it's going to change Ruiz, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think... because I feel like he's been poor for so long. Now that he's tasted success, he's not going to let it go that easy. So I believe he's in the gym training hard as hell. He might be training just as hard as AJ for this fight. You know what I mean? Because both of them got so much to lose. So I feel like both men are going to give their 100%.
You don't think he trained for the first fight?
Who? Ruiz, remember, Ruiz took it like a last-minute fight.
But don't look at it that way. He was in shape because he fought the
Yeah, that's true too.
That.
What I'm saying is now both parties have a full camp to just completely study their opposition. I don't think Ruiz is taking this lightly at all. You know what I mean? Just like I don't think AJ's taking it lightly at all. I think both men are giving 110% for this fight. Because think about it, just because
the first fight, you don't think Andy Ruiz gave it 110%?
Perfect example, right? AJ has been fighting top tier opposition for the longest, right? And we always see AJ taking pictures with the Queen, taking pictures with celebrities, popping wheelies in Times Square, all of that stuff, right? It just so happened that at this moment when he went to New York, he lost. But AJ's been doing that for forever. You know what I mean? Now this is just Ruiz's time to do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's what Ruiz did the first time. I said Ruiz is going to be the same exact how his same focus was. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing going to change.
I never disagreed with y'all.
You know
I said both of them are going to be focused. They're going to
he's going to be better, but he's going to be better.
I think both of them are going to be better.
I think he's going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I said that, I say he's going to be the same because Andy Ruiz did everything that he was supposed to. He trained hard. He had a good camp. You know what I'm saying? He trained hard. He came out 110%, and he fought hard. You know what I'm saying? And he won the fight.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He got caught, right?
Who?
Ruiz
You don't
in
think
that
he's gonna
fight?
get caught again?
No. I'm saying it's a possibility, but I'm assuming because you got caught, shouldn't you be training to not get caught again?
I feel like he's going to be the same joint.
I don't know, man. I have to believe that Ruiz is like, damn, I can't believe this dude dropped me for the first time in my career. I'm not gonna let a dude drop me again. You know what I mean? Like that has to haunt. Just like AJ's probably like, this dude dropped me. Ruiz is thinking the same thing. I'm not gonna let him drop me again. So Ruiz is doing drills to prevent, AJ from catching him too.
He's going to do chin drills.
Probably. He probably gonna
He's going to do chin drills. I'm going to do push-ups on these chins.
Remember what Creed do in part 2? He went to Mexico, right? We probably doing the same thing.
He's going to get these chin exercises out.
Here's a baseball bat. Get initiated. You know?
Nah, I think they're both going to be in better shape. When I say I think they're both going to be in better shape, I think both are going to be in better cardiovascular shape. They're both going to be ready to go more rounds. I think Ruiz knows he's going to have to close the distance, and I think Joshua knows that he's going to have to throw punches because I think he understands the importance of him being able to be active. The more he can stay active, Ruiz can't do nothing. Like, if you're being real with yourself, if Joshua's throwing punches, that means Ruiz can't do nothing. Like, Ruiz, his offense all came off of Joshua when he stopped throwing punches. And Joshua wasn't throwing punches in between Ruiz's punches. And anyone who knows, when you're fighting a guy with speed, you got to punch with him. So, like, if you don't punch with him, you stand no chance. I think he's been working on that, and he's going to come in better shape. But the pressure for Ruiz is this, for me, and for Joshua, well, mainly for Ruiz. When Ruiz got dropped in Madison Square Garden, he was an underdog. When Ruiz got dropped in Madison Square Garden, it was what the world was expecting. When he got back up, there was no pressure. Only thing that could happen was what everyone expected. When he hurt Joshua, that's when you saw what pressure does to a person. Because Trill brought it up. He was smiling like he was embarrassed. You know why he was embarrassed? Everyone was expecting him to win. This was like going to be the biggest upset since Buster Douglas and Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. And that's what you saw weighing on Anthony Joshua. Like, oh my God, am I about to be the second biggest upset in boxing history, right? Because he's hurt. He knows everyone thought he was going to win. That's the type of pressure you saw weighing on Joshua, to the point where he's like, let me exhale and gather myself in this fight. Like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? That's the type of panic, expectations, and pressure can bring, right? You talk about Anthony Joshua seeing the Queen of England and all. Yeah, all that never affected Joshua until he was in a fight he was supposed to win and he got hurt and the world was like, oh my God. That's when the pressure finally crumbled on him. So now you're going to have Andy Ruiz in the ring, where he just bought a Rolls Royce, where he just bought a mansion, where he just met the president of Mexico, where he's just been embraced as Mexican, because as much as people want to sweep it under the rug, the dude's from California. He's just as much as American as I am. So like, let's not. Now all of a sudden, he's the king of Mexico. But yo, if we want to be real, Andy Ruiz is American, people. So like, yo, I'll give it to him. He's the first Mexican champion. But y'all wasn't giving De La Hoya that love. I remember that. De La Hoya did not get that love. It wasn't until he beat Vargas where he got that love. Because when he was fighting Vargas, Mexico was with Vargas. Yeah. So, like, I'm just saying, like, come on, Mexico.
Yo, in the heavyweight division, all they got is Ruiz and Areola. And they're both Mexican.
I know.
So they gotta click on to something.
The people pick and choose when they want to accept someone, which isn't right. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is De La Hoya didn't get that acceptance until he beat Vargas, and Ruiz didn't get that acceptance until he beat Joshua. And so my point is, when he gets dropped this time, if he gets dropped this time, it's not as innocent as just getting up. It's like, oh my God, I'm letting Mexico down. Oh my God, this mansion. Or, oh my God, this Rolls Royce. Oh my God, this. So now right? You have expectations, and now you might see Ruiz taking that deep breath. Like, oh my God. So it's not the same guy going in. And that's why Abel Sanchez says that stuff softens you. Because now Ruiz gets dropped, and he thinks, I already got a Rolls Royce. I already got the mansion. So many things factor in. But now you got Anthony Joshua who's mad, who's like, yo, I am the second biggest upset in boxing history. Tyson never got a chance to get his hands on Buster Douglas. But if he did, I have to believe that would have been ugly. So now it's kind of like we get to see a guy in the second biggest upset in boxing history get a shot at redemption. And I do think that regardless of what you say, it's not going to be the same Ruiz because he got something to lose now. Joshua got something to lose. He got something to lose. They're going to meet December 7th, and it's going to be something to see.
What I mean by the same Ruiz that's going in there to win this fight and shock the world.
I know what you mean by the same Ruiz. I just mean in general, the circumstances are different. So
the stakes are way higher.
Yeah, the stakes are way higher for both guys. So it's like it can't be the same Joshua and it can't be the same Ruiz because like
I think Ruiz is still going in there with a chip on his shoulder. I think that too many people are calling this a fluke.
Oh, no doubt.
I think too many people are still calling this a fluke. To a lot of people, the belts are just on loan. You know what I'm saying?
Collecting interest in the bank.
That's what it is. He's just loaning the belts off. That's what a lot of people think. So I think Andy Ruiz got that in his head. And he still is feeling like, listen, actually.
Yeah, I want to believe that. Because I really hope maybe this is the best thing for AJ is to finally take a loss. So then he could be like, you know what, losing ain't that bad. So then hopefully that could transition into the ring where he doesn't carry that pressure anymore. But I'm not too sure until I see him walk into that arena in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. We don't know.
I think
We don't know until we see it. Yeah.
They're both coming in there different in terms of like what they have to lose and like what they have to gain. And so, like you said, Ruiz, everyone's like, it's a fluke. He can't do it again, right? So he's going in to try to prove it again. Josh was going in there to try to prove it was a fluke. And Josh was going in there to try to prove like, yo, this dude's not in my class, right? And so for all those reasons, I think like if a similar scenario plays itself out, if Ruiz gets dropped in the third round, it's going to feel different. If Joshua gets dropped again, it's going to feel different. Like, for example, I think if Joshua gets dropped again, he's getting back up, like, with more enthusiasm. And he's like, I'm going out on my shield. I'm not going out like I went out last time. So that's why I think it's a different Joshua. Now, it could be the same Ruiz. We don't know yet. I'm just pointing out, like, it could be the same Ruiz who gets dropped and is like, yo, I'm getting back up and we rolling. Or it could be the Ruiz who's Rolls Royce, pressure. So that's what I'm saying. I'm just pointing out always it could be different. I'm not saying it's not the same.
But I think both Ruizes will get back up.
Yeah.
I think you get back up more when you know, like, damn, yo, I got to pay
That's
that
not true,
car
though.
note. I got to do this. I got to do that. I'm getting up.
But going into what y'all, I know what y'all is about to. You know what I was thinking too? This is a win-win for Ruiz. Either way you look at it, his life has changed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's become recognized.
Not even that too. And his next 3 paychecks are gonna be huge.
Fat.
Yeah, facts.
His next 3 paychecks are gonna be huge. After the since he won, even if he loses to AJ, that paycheck is crazy. Even his next fight, if they do a third one, you know what I'm saying, a rubber match, which I said they think they should. You know what I'm saying? Why not get some extra bread? You know what I'm saying? They do that. Even if he doesn't fight, he's gonna be the man. He's gonna always be known as the guy that beat Joshua. Even if he loses the next 2 fights from Joshua, if they have 2 more fights, you know what I'm saying? He's just always gonna know. Even everybody else, he should be. When he fights Fury or if he fights Deontay Wilder, should always be him, considered him being that guy. His check is gonna always be better. That's how I feel. His check's gonna always be better.
I'm with you. The only thing is, you can be that guy with a loss, but you're that dude with the win. So it's still.
I was just saying, right? Andy Ruiz will still be good. His checks.
No, he's not. He's not gonna just fade into the background. He's still a good fighter, but it's just a lot on the line for both of them because like when you talk about money, like the money aspect of it for Ruiz, if he wins, and the same with Joshua, if you win, it's just this is what it's all about.
The money's over there.
And but I will say this though, if Ruiz does lose, although the paychecks will be fat, I think a lot of fighters would duck him.
Andy Ruiz?
Yeah, because this is gonna be all risk, no reward. So,
but it will because if
think about it, if Fury beats Wilder, knock on wood. Mm-hmm. You think Fury will take that fight with Ruiz? He's not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
But here it is. I'm saying Ruiz is still gonna be he's gonna be known as the guy, and now the Mexican fans is gonna be behind him like crazy.
No, I agree with that. I'm saying
so
his
checks,
gonna take the fight.
His checks are still going. He's gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, like eventually they're gonna have to fight him. These guys, because Deontay Wilder, it's only gonna be so much. He's gonna want to take these low paychecks. So he's gonna even if Joshua wins.
Yo, Trill, let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. How can we have the Wilder-Dillian fight yet?
Poor Dillian.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
like, if dudes don't want to fight you, they're not going to fight you, bro.
True,
you know what I'm saying?
And the reason why, because he would get more money. You know, the reason why Wilder ain't fighting Dillian is because, for one, they're not going to get no money. He would get money for that, but he's not going to go over there to do that. You know what I'm saying? He would want it to be an Al Heyman PBC thing over here. You know what I'm saying? And that they're not gonna pay for that like that. You know what I'm saying? And Wilder's not gonna fight nobody where it's gonna be some type of risk. His people ain't gonna put him in there with no type of risk. I know.
I don't want to put Wilder in the real fighter section right now.
Yeah,
we're talking about Anthony Joshua.
No, and it's true. It's true because
we'll get to Wilder in a second. But this is he's trying to get Wilder in the Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua segment.
That's the money segment. This is what we're talking about where the money's at.
And speaking of the money, let's just talk about the money. You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder and his 4.5 million to fight Ruiz, and Ruiz making 1.5 million to fight Wilder. When he could have made 7 million if he would have fought Joshua when the zone offered the money, and they offered Deontay Wilder 120 million for 3 fights, 20 million to fight Brazil, 50 million to fight Anthony Joshua, and then from what I'm hearing, if he would have beat Anthony Joshua, it would have been 70 million for the rematch, so it could have been 140. He rejected that, and then he made that money. Well, now Anthony Joshua's making $85 million to fight Andy Ruiz on December 7th.
Yo, it's just losses all around for this poor guy Wilder, yo. Like, he gotta stop. Like, it's to the point where, you know what I'm saying? I believe Caden said it. Like, he has to be loyal to himself. He got to be loyal to his family, yo. Because we were saying, like, it's going to become a time where, you know what I'm saying, he's going to have to explain that, where he don't have nothing to show for him being brain dead. You know what I'm saying? Or his body being torn down. You know what I mean? Like, you did for what? For these guys already making hundreds of millions from promoting? Off of fighters going brain dead, these guys has already got hundreds of millions in the bank. Because for fighters going brain dead, and you're a fighter, and you had a chance to make this money, and you was advised, trust me, Wilder to me doesn't look like he's not a scared guy. He's not a coward. You know what I'm saying? Like, he goes in there and puts his life on the line. I'm gonna say that I think he was advised wrongly and poorly, you know what I'm saying, from these guys that go to school for business. You know what I'm saying? To take this fight, you know what I mean? To take these fights for less money, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's like common sense isn't common. You have an opportunity to take 50 million, you know what I'm saying? Right now, to feed your family. This is money right now. 50 million to feed your family. You're gonna tell me that somebody say, "Oh, you can take a gamble, and the possibility is a chance that you might make you know what I'm saying? And possibly make 100 million. There's a possibility in a couple years that you could make 100 million, or you can get 50 million right now. What are you gonna do? Like, like poor Wilder, yo. Because let's just say if he goes in here and he fights Tyson Fury and he loses to Tyson Fury, dog, you just blew everything. You just lost everything. Your phone calls ain't gonna be picked up no more. People they're already not treating you right. You're already not on the Jimmy Fallon show and all these other places that you need to be at. They're already not treating you like you're a champion. They already don't treat him like he's a champion. You know what I'm saying? He don't get. I don't see him in places he needs to be at. You don't see him on shows like Wildin' Out or no other show like where you see boxers and champions fight on. You didn't see him on ridiculousness.
Would you put Deontay Wilder on Wildin' Out?
You know what I'm saying?
He ended up hitting Nick. After the wild style. After the wild style. Cause Nick can say something slide to him. You're still not as popular as Anthony Joshua. Wow!
Yo, he took this gamble looking out for people who wasn't looking out for him and his family. You know what I'm saying? Because if he loses this fight to Fury, we're not going to be talking no more 100 million, 120 million, 140 million. That deal's out the window. He's not going to see that. He's not going to see that. He's not going to see that at all, yo. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop thinking that, like, some people, right? Like, we look at some people, all right. Just because I'm Asian, it doesn't mean that I'm going to look out for everybody that's Asian. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I could be looking out just to fatten my pockets. Like, oh, like we Asians, we need to stick together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to buy from my store. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm Asian and you Asian, you need to buy from my store. But in my return, I'm getting my groceries and stuff from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting them from Asia. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm worried about fattening my pockets. I'm not worried about yours. That Wilder needs to start worried about himself and start worried about everybody else. He needs to start worried about himself. Because that's horrible, yo. That's horrible. He's the champion and been the longest consecutive champion, and he's getting less money than the guy that just became champion. Is there something wrong with that? Am I the only one that sees something wrong with that? You are the longest reigning champion with the most knockouts and the highest KO percentage, but you're getting paid less than the guy who just became champion his last fight. That doesn't sound weird to you? That's not strange to you? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
No, yo, you're right.
Actually, I was asking your thoughts on Anthony Joshua's salary, and then you just wanted to Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, no.
But that's fine. We can do that. But still, what are your thoughts on? You still haven't answered the question. What are your thoughts on Anthony Joshua's salary?
Poor Wilder.
You hear Anthony Joshua's salary?
I heard Anthony Joshua's salary, 85, and it made me think, poor Wilder. That's what it made me think. It made me go, as soon as I heard 85 million.
All right, so go to the next. So, what are your thoughts on Anthony Joshua's salary? And I guess now we'll just intertwine them. Knowing Anthony Joshua's salary, what are your thoughts on Deontay Wilder making the 4.5 for Ortiz and him rejecting the DAZN deal?
Man, AJ is just counting that green, man. I see it like he has a vault with a whole lot of money he's just swimming in right now. And for Wilder, it's just, hold on, AJ himself, he's just so marketable that he's making this much and it's ridiculous. And Wilder to turn down that deal. At one point, I remember you said Mayweather to fight De La Hoya, he took the lesser half of the deal.
De La Hoya got everything.
Yeah.
What size gloves they wear, what weight they fought at. He took less money, the size of the ring, everything. De La Hoya picked it.
And if Wilder believed he was that guy, he should have just took the deal and put AJ out.
That's called believing in yourself.
You got to believe in yourself to do that. You can't be petty.
Mm-hmm.
Floyd said this. I beat him anywhere. In a boxing match, I beat him anywhere.
Yep.
Any gloves, any ring, any whatever. But that's called confidence.
For me, Wilder doesn't even want to take a fight outside the U.S. You know, and
he fought the Olympic gold medalist in UK who was knocked out like 3 times before he fought him. Sure. But go ahead. That one time where the guy wasn't even a contender. Go ahead.
So I believe Wilder's looking at himself right now like, damn, I really lost out on a big opportunity. And if that opportunity comes back around a second time, he should take it. He shouldn't hesitate to take it because obviously his team is not even advising him or making him make the right decisions. And this time he should really bet on himself. If he really believes he's that guy, he's anointed by God. He took the heavyweight division out of the dark.
Speak it, believe it, receive it.
Speak it, believe it, receive it, and go get you. Now officially become the A side in the heavyweight. You know, but AJ, props to you, man. I only can imagine they are making $85 million overnight, but Wilder, shame on you.
All right, G.
I'll start off by saying salute to AJ for securing that bag. You know what I mean? It's always great to see brothers making, as much money as they can. I do feel bothered that Wilder only made $4 million for that fight with Ortiz. But I think there's a couple of things that we haven't brought up in this episode. Number one is Wilder has been aligned with a lot of people who are invested in Wilder's career. So when they seeing Wilder getting an offer from DAZN, they don't eat that money. So like Showtime, they're like, we not eating off of that. So you not going over there. You know what I mean? PBC goes, we not eating off of that. You not going over there. So when you have corporations behind you and they're restricting you from making top dollar, I could see why that deal wasn't going to happen, And then another thing about Wilder that I do wish Wilder improves is, he does need a promoter. You know what I mean? He doesn't have an Eddie Hearn. You know what I mean? Like Al Heyman is an advisor. He's not a promoter, right? And so,
all three.
Huh?
He's all three.
Nah, not really. When was the last time you seen an interview from Al Heyman? When was the last time you seen Al Heyman celebrate?
Never.
But
he's all three. He's a promoter. He's a manager.
But what I'm saying is, like Eddie Hearn,
depending on who you talk to.
Yeah, but Eddie Hearn is. I think maybe it's because Eddie Hearn's from the UK.
Yo, he's not a promoter. So what's Lions Only promotion? You think that's real?
He's a promoter.
Hold on. Listen,
an advisor.
I'm be honest. When these, for example, when these boxers come up with their companies and all that stuff, I know. But what I'm saying is, Eddie Hearn
with Lou DiBella.
I don't know something going on with Lou DiBella because now he's not with the Wilder team anymore. So something happened with Wilder.
Because he saw them. He knew that the DAZN deal. This is
no. I agree.
I'm telling you, but I don't know if you know about Lou DiBella, so I'm going to tell you about Lou DiBella. Trill can tell you about Lou DiBella. I've seen Lou DiBella in the ring crying with his fighter who got knocked out. Like Lou DiBella loves his fighters, and I guarantee you, Lou DiBella's not on that Wilder team anymore because when they advised him to turn down generational wealth, Lou DiBella said, "I cannot be a part of this." Exactly. I bet you. But go ahead.
So pretty much what I'm saying is, as much as I hate Eddie Hearn, and I've made it clear, I don't like Eddie Hearn. I call him the devil, Eddie Hearn. He has done exactly. You sign your life away to the devil. He's gonna make you live lovely for a little bit.
The devil's the one who.
And so that's what I'm saying. So when I hear like AJ securing $85 million in Saudi Arabia, I go, I have to salute Eddie Hearn. I don't see Bob Arum doing stuff. Not Bob Arum. Al Heyman.
Well, you don't see Bob Arum doing it either.
But the one thing I will say is, I do see Fury on different platforms. I see him on television. I see him in WWE. I see all that. So Bob is helping him out in securing other bags. I don't know if Al Heyman is like blackballed in Hollywood or whatever, but you gotta make Wilder a bigger star because he's clearly not the pay-per-view star that I want him to be. And so I'm not saying for Wilder to leave Al Heyman, but if Al Heyman is all-encompassing, then Al Heyman, promote your fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only way we're gonna see Wilder get bigger paydays and Wilder generating more casual fans. Because if he's not on television and he's just fighting like, no names, Wilder's his stock's not going to grow. And so AJ's growing because technically AJ has done everything right. Like legit everything right. He fought the competition he was supposed to fight. He got the belts he was supposed to get. He's articulate. You know what I mean? He has the endorsements that a fighter like him of his stature should have. He's done everything right. And that's why I go, salute to Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn is securing the bag at all angles, at all costs for AJ. I don't see Al Heyman doing the same thing for Wilder. I see Al Heyman investing in himself and using Wilder as the leverage. And it does hurt Wilder.
I had to jump in because you were praising Al Heyman.
Hold on, I still praise Al Heyman.
Hold on.
I'm just saying.
You were in favor of him rejecting the deal
He had
at
an
the time.
epiphany.
Yes.
No, so hold on.
Everything's in hindsight.
Hold on. No, everything's not in hindsight though, because you don't get to do that. You don't get to screw up and then be like, oh yeah, but everything's in hindsight. See, at the time the deal was offered, you have 3 people at this table who told you he should take the deal. But see, you have what's called survivor's bias. You dig what I'm saying? You only see how things can go right, and you don't factor in how things could go wrong. So he can do this, and then he's going to get a bigger piece of the pot, and if he keeps doing this, he's going to get a bigger piece of the pot. You never factored in Anthony Joshua losing to Andy Ruiz. And then you never factor in him making more money than he probably would have made if he would have fought Deontay Wilder at that time. Because if he's giving him $50 million, I guarantee you he probably was going to make in the ballpark of $85 million for that fight. But see, Wilder wants to know AJ's pockets. Well, see, now the world knows AJ's pockets. But the sad part for him is the world knows his now, too. And once again, you're not even close. Like I said, the checks Deontay Wilder's waiting for, Anthony Joshua can sign them himself. You know what I'm saying?
Ruiz can sign him himself.
Andy Ruiz can sign the check for Deontay Wilder right now.
AJ.
Exactly. So when you try to play these negotiation leverage battles, like they couldn't go wrong, and this is going terribly wrong for Deontay Wilder, because if Anthony Joshua's making $85 million to fight Andy Ruiz, how much should he make to fight Deontay Wilder? If this is going to be the biggest fight, right, that can be made, if this is going to be the biggest fight, well, he's going to be like, well, I made 85 for Ruiz, so I should at least make like 120, 130 for Wilder. Now, if you're going to pay him that kind of money for Wilder, you got to cut into what you were going to pay Wilder. So now, when you talk about, 50-50, that is dead.
Yeah.
50-50 is dead. Right? So now that 50-50 is dead, and finally all these Wildettes can just know that's dead, what's fair? 70-30 is fair.
Yes,
You said 70-30 is fair,
70-30 is fair.
but that's fair.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to be a jerk,
This is business.
this is business. These are business guys who are very happy, right? This is what they like, the business guys. You could just starve him out. Because AJ don't need the WBC. He didn't need it to make $85 million. Now,
He didn't need no belt.
yeah, he don't got no belt. He's making $85
They got to
million.
fight because even the UK fans want that fight.
I mean, but they don't. But they
don't
would rather
gotta
him.
do
They would rather
nothing.
him in Tyson
Honestly.
Fury.
Honestly,
Wait, hold on, but
They could do that.
I mean, hold on. So you're saying
AJ
Yo, they
if,
look
if
at-
Wilder,
did
if
Lennox
Wilder
Lewis-
beats Fury, then AJ just fight
Did
Fury
Lennox
right
Lewis
after?
fight Riddick Bowe?
What'd you
Correct
say?
me if I'm wrong. Lennox Lewis did not fight Riddick Bowe, right? Didn't the UK fans want that fight?
Yeah.
Didn't the American public want that fight? Isn't that still like one of the biggest fights that never happened? Bro, what are you talking about right now? Like, yo.
So then who's he gonna fight then?
Who?
AJ after
Tyson Fury.
Ruiz.
Tyson Fury.
All right. So what happens if Wilder beats Fury?
What
Is he
happens
still
if
gonna
Fury
fight
snubs Deontay Wilder?
No, I agree.
Which is
Then,
a possibility.
now that makes a fight. But what if Wilder beats him? Then it's like, what
You're
options
saying a
does
lot
he
of
have?
what ifs, bro.
Because
Like
that,
you're playing that.
My what if
No,
is the same what if
no,
I'm doing.
Say if he does. Say if he does win, right?
Yup.
They still doesn't have to make that fight. You know what I'm saying? Because say if he does win, he can run it back with Ruiz again. You know what I'm saying? Now say if he does win that fight and they run it back, and then Tyson Fury wins that third one. Now that's still up in the limbo. Now let's just say if they did.
Listen,
Hold on.
I give you all of that, but I'm gonna say this: I believe all of
these.
these guys want to fight each other.
They do, but then if
it takes for Wilder just to go to the zone, then fuck it. Wilder go to the zone, make this fight happen.
He should have been did that.
But he should have gone to the zone
a long
already.
time ago.
And whatever everything you're saying doesn't erase. You got to look at your highest point, your highest value, when you were going to make the most money. This is what we were trying to tell you. He reached his peak. He reached his highest value when they offered him that 120, possibly 140 million, and he rejected it. That is something he's never going to get again. I remember Jay-Z offered Adrian Broner $40 million. And Broner,
I know Broner wants that $40 million now.
And Broner told him,
suck my,
and
SMD.
guess
That's
what?
what he said.
And guess what? That turned out to be a deal that should have been made.
And he could have bought anybody he wanted.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. All I'm saying is sometimes you mess up. And he messed up. That deal isn't coming back around for him.
I think it's gonna come back around.
Okay. Not for Broner.
No, I'm talking about. I'm saying for Wilder. I think as long as Wilder defeats Fury,
that's it.
That's
it's a major if. But
yeah.
obviously, the win the boxing game. It's a
You know what's not an if?
just like
AJ Joshua making $85 million. That's not an if.
But what I'm saying is, just like if AJ gets through Ruiz and Wilder gets through Fury, then renegotiations are gonna happen, right? And I think on Wilder's side, I think Wilder's more inclined to say, "Yo, we're gonna take a smaller piece of the pie. We're not gonna,
bro. I think I think they are done with Wilder. When I hear Eddie Hearn speak and I hear Joshua speak, they don't need him, and they know they don't need him because he's making $85 million right now. I think their focus is on getting Tyson Fury to snub Deontay Wilder.
But I do got that. But what if Wilder knocks out Fury?
Right,
then
listen,
you have to acknowledge
and then, all right, say if he does knock him out. Yo, there's still going to be, because the IBF is going to get rid of this belt. Mm-hmm. So he can fight the IBF, whoever they're going to have fight for the IBF. Yep, he can fight that guy. But this is before I lose this point. Shout outs to Lou DiBella, you know what I'm saying, who is the boxing version of Jerry Maguire. You know what I'm saying? That's who I look at him as. And then another thing that I noticed too about this whole money situation. Yo, I used to be under this. Listen, I have no beef with Al Heyman. Like I said before, I love New Edition. You know what I'm saying? The thing is with Al Heyman, right? I used to be like, oh, you know, Al Heyman is good for black fighters. I take that back. I think Al Heyman is good. And then I said he's only good for certain fighters. I take that back now too. Al Heyman is only good for PBC. Mm-hmm. If it's not PBC, he don't care. And you know what made me come to that one was when you was talking about the networks and everybody behind you and they didn't let him. I agree with you. You know why? Because as a hustler, I would never do that. I remember back in the days when being in the streets, right? If somebody, you know what I'm saying, say if you could do something for somebody, you know what I'm saying? And you'd be like, my price is this. And somebody came to me and say, yo, man, but I'm getting it from what's the name for what's the name. Be like, damn, I can't even beat that. I wouldn't get mad at him and be like, yo, dog, if you go mess with him, bro, it's woo. I ain't messing with you no more. I'm like, well, babe, I can't give it to you, bro. So you got to go over there and get it better how you can get it. You know what I'm saying? Al Heyman didn't do that. Al Heyman didn't do that. Al Heyman is not doing stand-up business over there. He's like, just I don't like them and I don't want you to like them either. So you family can starve. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, the other thing too is Al Heyman, he is doing business when he doesn't care about the fighter. Because we pointed out when he doesn't care about the fighter, he fed them Ruiz.
Okay, he thought that was going to be a loss.
Ruiz was supposed to be fools. But Ruiz ended up winning. Mm-hmm. You see, in
Ruiz is going to be on the zone.
Exactly, and the
all
fact
the love
that
that they've been showing
they
him.
already making a play for him. Because if you look at their commercial,
Everything,
they
yeah.
got Ruiz. They're making a
They're
play for
promoting him
Ruiz,
heavy.
and you know,
But that might be a good investment for Al because they're gonna have to pay Al to release. So
Hey,
Do you think? I don't even think it's going to be.
I don't
crazy
know.
like
I don't
that.
even
Yeah.
know if he's under contract like that, bro. Because
Yeah.
remember, Ruiz brought out his contract with Top Rank. I don't know what type of contract he's under with PBC, but it may not be that difficult to get him out. As you think
Yeah.
Floyd bought himself out for like $700,000 with Top Rank. When they don't believe in you, they don't sign you to those type of deals that's impossible to break.
No, it's 7. Yo, I've read somewhere or seen somewhere where he was like, Bob Arum was like, he only gave me 25,000.
I do believe if Wilder was on the zone, he'd be a bigger star than he is right now. Because Eddie Hearn said when he saw AJ, he was like, "Yo, this is it."
Yo.
And I think he would know how to promote Wilder to make it effective for him. So,
Say what you want to say about this spoiled little brat in the UK, Eddie Hearn, but he knows how to put on a show. He knows how to put on a show. Like he has those shows looking like it's a club event over there. How he does it, it's crazy. He promotes it like it's a club event.
Exactly.
He puts on a show. He puts out events. And not only are they at these events, not only are they having boxing matches at these events, they having people like Sale come out and perform before it, you know what I'm saying? With Celine Dion performing, you know what I mean? And then the fights are taking place. This is a big situation.
it's an experience.
It's an
man.
experience.
Yo, the thing with Al Heyman is like
Sweet.
he's playing a game we've seen before, and all these people who are praising a promoter, like when's the last time you seen a promoter set a fighter for life? Like make sure a fighter was set for life. Think of all the fighters you know.
Eddie Hearn.
Think of all. No, I'm saying forget Eddie Hearn. He's still new generation. I'm saying from the Don Kings, the like all the legendary fighters. Where you got Muhammad Ali, you got Mike Tyson, you got George Foreman, you got Joe Frazier, you got Riddick Bowe, you got all these guys. When have you actually seen a promoter set a fighter up where they're like, yo, this fighter's good for life?
Tyson
Where a
Fury.
promoter, Tyson Fury.
Bob Arum.
Well, I just said these are guys who are still fighting.
Oh, you
Right.
mean in the past? Oh, my fault.
I'm saying from the past till now, right? Fighters usually end up. Look at Joe Louis had all them tax problems. So fighters usually end up like broke. Usually end up screwed over. Usually end up. Look at what Don King did to Mike Tyson. So you really think in the history of the sport of boxing that advisors and promoters have the fighter's best interest in mind?
No,
That's
clearly
why
they don't.
That's
No,
why,
no,
that's
clearly
why
they don't.
promoters and advisors always are richer and they outlive the fighters.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so if I was to be a professional fighter, I would not just rely on what Al says. I wouldn't just rely on what these clowns say. I would have an outside accountant. I would have outside sources. I wouldn't just rely on Al Heyman. Al Heyman you need Al because he got the connections and they got the connections. And if you don't, you're going to be someone who's going to be on the outside looking in, like a Kathy Duva, so to speak, right? Like she's not really in the loop. She can't make all the fights she wants. It's only when they think her fight is food, they'll give her fighter a shot at one of the big guys and whatnot. But you should always have secretly an accountant on your payroll that they don't know about whenever. What do you say? And any accountant would have said to Deontay Wilder, bro, you take these fights.
Like
Because
Floyd don't just listen to Al.
broke. You'll never go broke again.
Floyd don't just listen to Al. Like Floyd gave everybody the people thinking Floyd did something that was kind of he put everything on. This is actually a tactic that you use when you try to make somebody else seem like they're bigger, so it takes less off for you. You know what I'm saying? In your people, but Floyd was doing great deals without Al Heyman. He was doing real estate investments because Floyd doesn't just have Al Heyman. He has Ellaby. You know what I'm saying? He has Ellaby and other people around him that do certain
Hanging with
things.
Warren Buffett.
They're hanging with Warren Buffett. Yeah.
Right, it's just not
Warren
just.
Buffett helped him out with the Burger King. That wasn't Al. You know what I'm saying? The 100 Burger Kings. That wasn't Al. You know what I'm saying? With the real estate, he was doing that before Al. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where he was just using Al to help Al. To take away from the things from like his beef with Golden Boy, his beefs with Bob Arum, he used Al. They take the other fighters so the other fighters will have a place to go. You know what I'm
And that's
saying?
a great point. Floyd was already Floyd.
Yeah.
Before he was, Al Heyman. People act like,
That came
Al
later.
Heyman's the one. Floyd was the biggest star when he got with Al.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they came up with a plan and they had a vision.
That's a
but
lot.
that was more. That was more about. And this is what they give him credit for. That was mainly about one thing: leaving HBO to go to Showtime with the biggest deal. Which, who wouldn't make a deal to cripple their competition? It's because of that deal that HBO no longer exists and Showtime's still doing boxing, although they're struggling. Which is probably, I don't even know, but I'm assuming that's probably why Floyd's coming back out. Showtime probably's like, please, brother, Wilder cannot carry this. But like, yo, anyways, we spent enough time on this, Joshua and Ruiz. And for anyone who doesn't know, we'll just go through real quick and say our picks. I picked Anthony Joshua to win the rematch.
Yeah, I definitely got Joshua in here to win the rematch.
And
I see a rubber match coming.
I picked Joshua by KO stoppage.
Yeah, and I had Ruiz, but it could go either way.
yeah, so we do our videos on YouTube, so you can check us out on YouTube on the Boxing Bros USA. Just type in Boxing Bros. Our videos will come up. We appreciate it if you watch our videos. This is our podcast, but you can definitely check us out on YouTube and our videos, and you can check us out on social media. So the next thing that we're going to move to is the undercard now, because they have some pretty good fights on the undercard. But one fight that I'm intrigued with is Alexander Povetkin versus Michael Hunter. And so, Tro, what are your thoughts on that fight?
I really want to see that fight.
We're doing an official prediction on that too. So.
Official.
Thoughts and official prediction.
Oh man, I think that this fight is this is gonna be the fight. This is gonna be a heavyweight fight where I'm gonna be sitting on the edge of the seat trying to watch. Because it's gonna answer a lot of questions. Alexander Povetkin, where he goes from here, and Michael Hunter, is he really this good? Is he good? You know what I'm saying? Could he be in there with the elite guys? And we're gonna answer a lot of questions that's gonna be answered. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to see.
Well, why don't you answer the question right now? Who you got?
Oh man, this is crazy.
I feel Trill on this one.
Yeah,
it could go either way.
Yeah, it could definitely go either way. I don't have a dog in this fight. We're gonna see. This fight is one of those fights that you see, but if you're forcing my hand to pick somebody, I want to see the kid Michael Hunter because I want to see a fresh face.
So you're picking Michael Hunter?
Yeah.
Because you
If I had to.
official pick, brother. You need to pick.
This is official.
The name you say is who you pick. Yes.
This ain't like the KS.
I don't think
Y'all don't want to do official.
this should be on official.
No. This is official. You know why this is official?
This was tough.
No. You know why this is official? You've seen enough Michael Hunter fights to know how he fights, and you've seen enough Povetkin fights.
I haven't seen him against top guys.
I haven't. Regis Prograis versus Josh Taylor, the only fight I predicted wrong. I didn't see any of their fights. I had to go on YouTube.
Like, he don't watch ants. No, play.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about that. It's just the popularity of the fighters. I had to go on YouTube and pull up their fights, and then I've actually seen enough Michael Hunter and seen enough Alexander Povetkin where you should be able to make a prediction on the fight.
All right, did they do the blood test yet?
It's in Saudi Arabia. You know?
Oh no!
You guys trying to get out of prediction. Y'all seen enough of these guys to make a prediction, man. Come on now.
It depends on the blood. It depends on the blood samples. Listen, if it's a clean sample, I'm going Michael. If it's a dirty blood sample, I'm going Alexander.
Yeah, have a contingent prediction. Nah, man. I need a prediction, man. Michael Hunter or Alexander
That's rough,
Povetkin?
man. I'll go.
Yo, how about this? Have Ned answer it first. Come back to us.
I'm not familiar with Michael Hunter. I haven't seen any of his fights, but I'm gonna take Povetkin because he is the higher ranked fighter, and he is more skilled. I believe he's more skilled.
How you believe it?
He only seen him he only seen Povetkin, so he thinks he's more skilled.
Povetkin's the higher ranked fighter. I think that's more
So
skilled.
that's more skill because he's a higher ranked fighter.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder's ranked higher than Anthony Joshua right now.
And you know Ruiz, before he fought AJ, he wasn't even in like the top 10.
True.
So what are you saying?
So if Hunter beats Povetkin, he jumps everybody and goes to like 5-6, right? No?
He goes
I don't
up
know
there.
about
He's
5'6",
going to
but
jump up.
he-
I don't know
he's
how
definitely
high
within the
he's
top
gonna
10.
move up.
Top 10?
Yeah, he's definitely the top 10.
I'm still going Povetkin.
G, let's go, man. Who you got, man? You guys are killing me,
Yo, listen,
man.
I don't want this
Y'all
to be
like,
official.
it has to
But-
be official. Yo, listen, you go unofficial. If we
You
haven't
left
seen
six.
enough of their fights to make a prediction,
You know
you've
he
seen
don't-
enough of their
he
fights
don't
to make
listen,
a
by
prediction. And
default-
Trill knows the deep down
By
inside.
default, I'm going with the brother, but I don't want to do it. But I have to do it.
By default, I'll go with the brother.
But, yo,
I don't
you
know
gotta
who's the
say-
brother. Who's the brother?
Stop it, yo. Well, I will say this though, yo, because honestly, Hunter is good, but I see a lot
green.
of flaws. Yeah, and Povetkin, although he's older, he's more seasoned.
Ruiz.
But and then that's what I have to factor in, yo, because he's
You know
in
they ain't
Saudi
gonna pop
Arabia.
him against Michael Hunter either.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I don't know. They might let him do his thing just to make it an exciting fight in Saudi Arabia. So
And Povetkin got the winner.
Oh,
AJ.
That's what I'm saying. They might be trying to set that up. So that's why I'm like, yo, this was a tough one, man. Yo, man, you know what? 10 toes down. I'm going with Michael Hunter. Even though I don't want to. But
I'll go and then I'll let Trill go last since he's having such a hard time deciding.
he's a
Drugs
deep
or no
dog.
drugs?
He's a
I'm
deep
trying to
dog.
think.
Drugs or
So
no
when I look
drugs.
at Michael Hunter, I think he has some skill, but I'm not really impressed with his skill. Like, I don't think he's that fast, and I don't think he's that elusive. And to make matters worse, he's like 215 pounds with a gut. So what that tells me is like he's fluffed up. He's like a fluffed up 215.
He's
Like
really a
when you
cruiserweight.
see Wilder at 215, that's all muscle. That's a solid 215. Like that's a guy who's like, you know, yeah, he's light, but he's light and he's like solid muscle, functional muscle. When I look at Michael Hunter, I see a fluffed up cruiserweight. And so I don't think a fluffed up cruiserweight is going to beat Alexander Povetkin. I don't think he's going to hit hard enough to keep Povetkin off of him. I seen Povetkin take out Fury. Not Fury, was it David Price? I seen Povetkin take out
Fury's cousin.
Yeah, he took out Fury's cousin. He did take out he took out Price too, right? I think.
Nah, that's Chisora. Oh, no, back in the day. Yeah, you're right.
I think he took out Price.
He took out Price.
He took out Fury.
Fury's cousin.
He hung in there with Vladimir Klitschko for 12 rounds. He gave AJ a tough fight until he got dropped. I think that Povetkin is proven. He's tested. He's a true heavyweight. And I think Michael Hunter, with all the skills, is just a fluffed up cruiserweight. And so I'm picking Alexander
Sam,
Povetkin.
you so right, man. I'm scared, man. You know what it is?
Go with your gut,
USA all the way.
Now, I would love to be wrong on this one. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, I don't pick with my heart. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's the
flaw.
problem. Michael Hunter's fresh. He's a fresh guy.
he is
He's kind of green. You dig what I'm saying? And Alex Povetkin, he's been hanging out with Lomachenko and Usyk and these guys. He's been in camp with these guys for like the last year. And I just feel like he's gonna be a whole new. It just depends, man. Like, is he old, or is he?
Nah, Povetkin old, bro.
Like, no.
But
What
steroids old make you pretty young.
That's what I'm saying. Because his last fight, when they let him go out there with the shit in the system, he went in there, he knocked dude out. You know what I'm saying? And he was looking crazy. So if they go in there and let him with the stuff in the system, he's gonna look crazy like he did too. He was cut up. He looked like a machine in there. You know what I'm saying?
He looked like the real life Drago.
Yeah, he was looking like the real life Drago, and him and Usyk being in camp together, and you know what I'm saying, and iron sharpens iron, and you know I got Usyk against Chisora any day, so it's just crazy. But it's other fights too on that day. It's other fights on that day too as well. It's the middleweight showdown.
Hold on, so what you pick again?
I still don't know.
Yo, Trill, you gotta say it.
I was trying to.
I like how you did that, man. He's trying to keep his perfect score, you know what I'm saying?
I was gonna call him out, but anyway.
Try to hit us with
I was
the
like,
okey-doke.
so
Oh man, I'm going Povetkin, man. I wish I would have known if there was drug testing in this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything I know, but you know what I'm saying? I need to know. So yeah, I'm going Povetkin just off the strength of him being in camp with the other guys from Ukraine. They just
Povetkin's resume is pretty impressive. Like
And it
I
really
see that
is,
he
too.
TKO'd Hakeem Rahman. I mean, he lost to
that was-
Vladimir Klitschko,
that was
but
last
that was a
year.
unanimous decision. He KO'd Carlos Tecum. He KO'd David Price. And he KO'd a unanimous decision against Yuri Fury. So he got some names on his resume that you gotta give him credit for. Now, of course, Hakeem Rahman was 157 years old.
that was his last fight.
He TKO'd Chris Bird.
Yeah.
He had a unanimous decision against Eddie Chambers. These are good fighters.
But they were all on their way out where he was in.
Hey man, by hook or by crook, they on his resume.
And Povetkin was on the way into the juice, so you know what I mean. It kind of don't really count, you know.
Marco Huck, he's a good fighter.
His whole resume to me has an asterisk behind his name, so.
Yeah, he got the syringe marks.
Do you think they're gonna pop him for
And
Michael
Saudi
Hunter?
Arabia, yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
Like that's
Michael
another
Hunter
thing.
dirty.
That's another thing. So Povetkin gonna break his feet.
Yo, man, listen, Michael Hunter, please, man, do this for
I
me.
wouldn't mind. It would be great to see
Michael Hunter
Michael
better
Hunter
go
win.
pack some snacks himself. Then he better pack some
right, better
some
go-
carne snacks.
Pack
with him.
Pack some snacks in AC.
You know what I'm saying? Have some snacks. There's another fight. It's about to be a middleweight showdown. They try to set that up on the other network. It's going to be Charlo's fighting in Eubank. Chris Eubank is fighting.
On December 7th?
Yes.
They're trying to make them fight each other on December 7th.
No, not on. They're both fighting on the same
like,
card.
what the
One
same-
at the
Why
other.
would they do that during
You know
the
what I'm saying?
same day?
Yeah.
Showcase. But
There's a
the
showcase
thing I
to
don't
set that fight
know is what time Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz are going to be in the ring.
Yo, they said Saudi Arabian time is only like a 2-hour difference from UK time, so it's probably gonna be around like 6-7 p.m. for us.
So then it's fine if they make that fight. Because after that fight, that's actually smart. You know why? Because once people like us finish watching Anthony Joshua fight, we'll just
still
turn
keep
right
watching.
to. We'll turn right
And
to
it's
them.
their fight. They trying to set up because they're trying to set up Eubank versus Charlo. So they both putting the showcase fights
So
together.
we don't need to pick those fights because
no, no.
I don't even know what opponents are.
I just Paul Hogan, some
Well,
guy.
all right. So Chris Eubank versus Jamel Charlo.
Yeah.
Not Jamal Charlo.
Yeah.
How would you? We don't need it, but just quick.
I mean, we're gonna see how they handle the
Exactly.
this showcase coming up for both of them guys, because I guess this is gonna be a showcase for Eubank as being on PBC, his first fight on PBC, and I think Charles is gonna show. This was his first defense as was the middleweight title. Yeah. So we're gonna see. I never watched Chris Eubank's dad fight. And I had the pleasure of watching several fights
Yeah,
this
they're on
weekend
ESPN.
on YouTube. I went back and I watched like a whole bunch of his dad's fights on YouTube. He was a definite showman. He was a deaf showman and a Stasi dresser. We can see. His son doesn't fight like him at all. And it seemed like he had more pop and power than his son does. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
That's obvious.
he had more power. He had more power and more skill than his actual son did. If he was fighting Charlo, then I would have been like, "Woo!" This
You
is
could
gonna
just
be a
tell
tough-"
by like the way they interact. His pops be like, "I would have effed you up."
Yeah.
Like,
The son
you
here,
ain't
he
nothing.
definitely ain't. He ain't from the pops pedigree. His pops went in there and walked. I seen one fight. He was in the corner like this. Walked over to him in the front round and knocked him out one punch and knocked dude out. You know what I'm saying? If he was fighting, if his dad was fighting Charlo, I'd be like, hey, this is gonna be a real crazy fight. Charlo might have one on his hands. You know what I'm saying? Chris Eubank, I think he's just got this far from his father's name. Yeah, he's a tough kid, but I just think Charlo's just on a different level.
So, Ned, let me ask you a question. And I expect you to answer this question honestly. Do you even know who Chris Eubanks is?
Nah, I do not.
All right, do you know who Jamal Charlo is?
Yes, I do. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
So I'm assuming if it came down to it, you would pick Jamal Charlo over.
As a casual boxing fan, I'd go with what I know.
Yeah.
You
wouldn't be wrong. Answer. You wouldn't be
All
wrong.
right. So G, what you thought?
You wouldn't be wrong with that.
Yo, I actually got Charlo also winning, but
Wait, they're not fighting each other yet, but if they
but
just
if
so
they did,
far, we're
yeah,
gonna
'cause,
see
like,
how
I
they look
remember,
in their showcase.
I remember like PBC interviewed Eubank and his pops, right? And the pops seems pretty confident that his son could take him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, let's see. But me, I'm a hometown guy, so I got
What's the hometown?
USA all the way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with Charlo on this one. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
10 toes down. USA all the way.
Now this is of course assuming they get past their showcase
Showcase,
fights
yes.
because you never know these days. You can't take them for granted.
And I don't want to take nothing away from Eubanks, Chris's pops. You know what I'm saying? Because of course, every father thinks that their son can. You know what I'm saying?
Well, actually, no, because his dad said there's one guy he can't beat, and I already told him who that guy is. And they were like, "Oh, who is it?" He's like, "I'm not going to tell you."
Yeah.
Well, I already told him who it is and who he can't beat. So
Canelo.
Canelo. No, he said he want the Canelo fight.
He want the money.
I bet you.
Yeah,
His
160.
his dad probably would have told him that he can't beat Canelo too. But Chris Eubank, man, I'm gonna be real. I need to see something. I've never really been impressed with watching him. Jamal Charlo, I think, should beat him if they meet in the fight, and I'd pick Jamal Charlo. I don't really think it would be that difficult. Like I hear that Chris Eubank has punching power, but then he lose to like George Groves, man.
I haven't seen.
Man, please, like Charlo should watch that dude. Like it shouldn't even be competitive.
Charlo gonna be eating fish and chips that day.
Yeah, I think they're making it because of the
shut the
name
spot.
and the trash talking that comes with Eubank. You know, what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He's gonna
that's
sell
what it is.
He's gonna
That's what it
basically sell the fight with the trash.
Nah,
talking.
because he got the look,
Yeah.
but he don't got the skills.
He don't got the
So
skills.
and he got the name.
Yeah, 'cause
Like
of
you
his
said, they're
dad,
gonna
yeah.
play off his dad's name,
But he's not his dad.
but we all know.
He's not his dad at all.
Oh, not at all.
His dad was knocking him out. You know what I'm saying? And his dad was doing it with a certain type of swag.
Yeah,
you
he
know
lost
what I
to
mean?
Billy Joe Saunders and he
Yeah.
lost to George Groves. So he's fighting the guy, Korbov, who gave Jamal Charlo problems. Who people feel like it may have even been a robbery. So that's who Chris Eubank is fighting.
He might lose that.
Exactly. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, this
He
ain't no
might
cakewalk. They gave him a tough opponent.
I see. To me, every time you put you back in there with a tough elite guy like a Groves or a Sanders, he loses. You know what I'm saying? Every time you put him in there with he gives a good account for himself, but he ends up losing. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll beat the guys that he need to, but he can't beat
He beat a washed up James DeGale, and so now everybody's like, oh.
You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what it was. And James DeGale didn't deserve to be in there fighting. He was been done with the previous fight before that. I thought Badu Jack beat him. And they robbed Badu Jack and called it a draw. You know what I'm saying?
Bottle Jack and Rob a few times.
Every time Badu Jack gets in the ring, he's robbed. I'm thinking he's gonna get robbed in this next fight.
But you gotta love Bottle Jack, like just the
He
way
fights.
he support Adonis Stevenson though. Like you see,
You
like,
can
I
tell
like,
they
yo,
brothers
like
for
yeah,
real.
like they fought and everything, and I feel like Bottle Jack won, but like they like you can tell like he got a lot of love and respect. for
Badu Jack,
Adonis.
he gets to fight with this title, right? I think
he has a title shot come up. He's been training.
on the tank card. Yeah, it's fighting on the tank card. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. And because I know that Canelo gave away that belt at 168.
Yeah, he don't care about that belt.
Yeah, he don't care about that belt at 168. So Bado and them might be fighting for that belt. You know what I'm saying? On the Gamboa and Gervonta Davis undercard. So that's what's coming in next week. Is we got that showcase with them fellas.
All right, so we'll switch gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about Swift Jarrett Hurd. I think he made the announcement that he's moving up to 168. So I have a question, two-part question actually, which is one, do you think he's ducking Julian J. Rock Williams? And two, do you think he will be a better fighter at 168? And so I'm going to start one off with Ned. Do you know who Swift Jarrett Hurd is?
Yeah, I do. What was it? He was supposed before. If he didn't lose J-Rock, he was to fight one of the Charlie brothers. I know that, right?
Yes.
And then I honestly feel his style doesn't match up well with J-Rock, so that's why I think he's just trying to avoid that rematch by moving up. But it depends on the competition. So
Look at Ned talking like he knows something about boxing. My man, Ned. Okay, Ned. Gee, what you
I actually agree with the cameraman on this one. You know, like I think Swift, he understands that his style just doesn't match up with J-Rock. So, and not to mention, he's not as like a technical fighter as J-Rock. But I feel like maybe if he moves up, maybe he could generate more power. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully that could get him a couple of victories at 168. But yeah, he don't want no parts of J-Rock, and I don't blame him either, because he got beat bad, you know, in that fight. So I don't think it makes sense for him to even try to do the rematch. And for all I know, maybe he struggles to keep weight, you know what I mean? And so just the process of trying to get down the weight is probably too much for him, you know? So if he just stays at a heavier weight, then he doesn't have to deplete himself as much, and then we could get a better J-Rock. I mean, excuse me, not.
So I'm going to double check. So he said he's going straight to 168. He's not going to 160.
He going to 168
because he was at 154. Right?
Yeah.
So he's going from 154 to 168.
Yo, but I think it's because he struggles to make weight.
You see what I'm saying?
Yo, but I'm just going to name the champions for you. You know, at the super middleweight division: David Benavidez,
Caleb Plant,
Chris Eubank,
Yeah, that's a dangerous
Billy Joe
division.
Saunders, Caleb Plant,
About to be
and
Bobby
Billy Joe
Callum
Saunders,
Smith,
I
and
think he
Callum
might
Smith.
be able to beat Billy Joe Saunders, though. You know, so
Yeah, and Chris Eubank Jr.
yeah, those
Well,
two.
David Benavidez,
Yeah,
no.
David Benavidez.
Callum Smith,
That's
no.
the turbulent
Caleb
activism.
Plant, no.
Yo, fact.
I don't know,
Caleb
bro.
Plant would just be a bigger J-Rock. Caleb Plant would literally be a bigger J-Rock.
Yo, I know, you're going to get knocked out that fight. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, he can't compete, man. Like,
So what are your thoughts on Swift Jarrett Hurd? You think he's ducking?
Excuse what I said. I said actually Badu Jack at 168 now. Badu Jack actually moved up to 175.
oh, shoot.
And Badu Jack's going to be fighting Jean Pascal at 175 on the undercard of Gervonta Davis and Gamboa.
Oh, that's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
No, we can talk about that. What you think of
Now, what was you talking about?
Jarrett Hurd? Do you think he's ducking J-Rock?
Absolutely.
And do you think that he'll
Yeah,
be
he might wanna
competitive
stay.
at 168?
Yeah, he might want to stay where he was already at.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think he'll be competitive at 168?
Yeah, he moving up to real killers, man.
I think maybe he should have went to 160. I mean, I think maybe.
Let me see 160, man.
Yo, bro, look at this shit.
Yeah, that one's like
That's Murderer's Road.
No,
dog.
that's 68. Oh, that's what's 160?
160?
Yo,
160 is better.
Honestly, but he's still food in 160. Yo, he's food at both. It doesn't matter.
He want to go up and fight the Charlo brother at 160. We don't matter. Of fact, you know what it is. All right, I'm gonna just say this right now. Jarrett Hurd is on a limbo. Okay. I'm just gonna go out there and say it like this. There's only one Swift, and that's Danny Swift Garcia. Now this Swift that came out of the blue, winning these belts, he didn't win it like he was so skillful. He won it because he could take a lot of punishment, and guys was getting tired. You know what I'm saying? Like Laura beat him every single round. Laura just eventually got tired, ended up throwing too much punches because he was like, I can land everything but the kitchen sink. So he threw everything but the kitchen sink and tired himself out. You know what I'm saying? And that's how Jarrett Hurd won that fight. And here with J-Rock, he got beat up. Okay, and I had not only J-Rock. I always thought J-Rock was really talented. Even when he fought Jamal Charlo, he got caught with that catch and shoot punch that he got dropped with. You know what I'm saying? That uppercut he got dropped with. I still felt like he was gonna win that fight if it wasn't for that punch that landed. You know what I'm saying? Because J-Rock is really skilled. He's a skilled Philly fighter. You know what I'm saying? And he beat Jarrett Hurd up, and it was not gonna be nothing different in the rematch. It was going to be the same exact fight. You know what I'm saying? He was just going to beat up on him once again. I think anybody that hops in there, I think J-Rock finally got a fight in Philly, fighting nobody, January 18th or January 8th, one of those days. He's fighting somebody. And listen, nobody's going to want to fight J-Rock because it's not going to be one of those fights. He should be trying to fight the winner out of the Harrison and Charlo fight. That's what J-Rock should be trying to fight next to see if they can make undisputed at 154. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think should be happening. Jarrett Hurd, if he's going to go to 160, 168, he don't know where he's going. He just want to get away from 154. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't see him beating nobody at I don't see him beating nobody at 154 now. Between only person I see him beating is Tony Harrison. That's the last person he beat. You know what I'm saying? I don't see him beating a Jamil Charlo, and I don't see him beating a J-Rock. You know what I'm saying?
And Howie Munguia.
Yeah. Oh, matter of fact, he could beat a Munguia.
You think so?
I think him and a Munguia,
That's a fight. That's a punishing, physically taxing fight.
That to me, that's the battle of I'm just gonna because both of these guys are the same. Because I see Munguia and Hurd being the same exact fighter. I don't see nothing special in Munguia. At first I did when I seen him beat up on a tiny little Sadim Ali. I thought that he was impressive, but then you realize that Sadim Ali is so tiny. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't so impressive. Munguia has looked horrible after winning that fight against Sadim Ali. And if it wasn't for Golden Boy putting him in there with the right fights, he would have been lost his title. You know what I mean? I don't think he is as good as what people think, and I don't think Hurd is as good as people think. These two guys get in the ring with some skilled guy, they're going to look ridiculous, and these guys are going to make these guys look like regular fighters. If you want to make a fight, put those in there together. You know what I'm saying? Because Hurd I'm looking at 160. Who is he going to fight at 160? He can't beat Boo Boo. And put him in there with a washed up Triple G.
Nah, he's fool for Triple G.
They'll put him in there. At least that'll be entertaining. At least he's bigger. You know what I'm saying? Because Triple G is never going to try to be great and go to 168. You know what I mean? So put him in there with a young guy.
Triple G still chasing the Canelo fight he's never going to get.
I'm done with Triple G. I'm done calling him like he's one of the greats until he goes up to 160. I don't care. Just go up to fight Billy Joe Saunders. Just go up to one. You can't consider yourself a great unless you go up and at least. You know what I'm saying? Or regain the titles, all the titles back or something. He can't even do that. You know what I'm saying? Be an undisputed champion again. Be champion again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I think he's not ducking Julian J-Rock Williams. And the reason why I don't think he's ducking J-Rock Williams is because he's running from J-Rock Williams and running to Cullum Smith, David Benavidez, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant.
Yeah, that's mad.
I don't understand the logic in that. If anything, he should go to 175 with Arthur Beterbiev and really that's it. I mean, there's what's the other guy's name who I think he just lost to Beterbiev, and I think he's better at 175. Reason being is their hands aren't as fast, and there aren't really that many technical boxers there. I mean, you're going to get knocked out most likely, but you're not going to get outboxed. Whereas Benavidez, you're going to get outboxed. Billy Joe Saunders, you're going to get outboxed. Caleb Plant, you're going to get seriously outboxed. And Cullum Smith, you're going to get outboxed and knocked out. So I think that's a division it just seems to me worse than J-Rock Williams. I'd rather fight J-Rock Williams again. So I don't think he's running.
But if he fights but he goes back he can't compete. That fight was bad, man. It's sad when
a trigger.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like he's in limbo. It's kind of like it's not the same, but it's kind of like Usyk in the heavyweight division. It's like, yo, come on.
He's a
bro.
tweener. He's a tweener.
Yeah, it's like, it just sucks that your size is the size that you have. It's like, what can you do? You know, it's like you can't really. He's not as talented when it comes to, you know, boxing IQ and skill set, but he has a chin. You know what I mean? But if you're struggling to make weight, you're not carrying that power. So now you're just a punching bag pretty much for J-Rock.
Look, for
At least you have a fighting chance moving up.
With 154 division, the top guy they got at number 1 is J-Rock. Number 2 is Jarrett Hurd. Number 3 is Laura. Number 4, Miguel. Number 5, Castano. I don't never heard of him. And then number 6 is Tony Harrison. Number 7 is Jamil Charlo. Number 8 is Michael Soro. And number 9, Erison Lubin. Number 10, Cal Brook.
And when's they? Who's the they you're talking about?
This is Ray Magazines.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Cal Brook, man.
They don't have nobody that's the Ring Magazine champ yet. But I'm looking at that list. I totally disagree because I have at least if even after this loss, I still got Charlo should be number 1 at 154. You know what I'm saying? And J Rock number 2. You know what I'm saying? Because seeing what he did to J Rock. Hopefully, J Rock is not running to 168. If he does move up, hopefully he does go to 160. And there's some tough guys. I'm just gonna run the top 10 guys that Ray Magazine has at 160. Canelo is the champion. Number 1, they got Triple G. Number 2, they got Danny Jacobs. Number 3, they got Boo Boo, Demetrius Andre. Number 4, they got Jamal Charlo. Derevchenko is number 5. Number 6, Murata. Rest of the guys I can't even pronounce their name. Some of the guys I never even heard of before. So the top 5 guys though is where I guess we can always say that we already know. So I can see him in there. I can him in there with a Derevchenko. Derevchenko, you know what I'm saying? And I know he was calling out Jamal Charlo before, but we don't know.
I think Triple G needs to run it back with Derevchenko. So after that robbery, but we're gonna move on to Gamboa pulling off the upset. No, sir. To Gervonta Davis versus Gamboa in the fight on the undercard. Badu Jack the Ripper versus Jean Pascal.
Southpaw Sizzle. You know what I mean?
What are your thoughts on that card, Trill?
I think it's a good card. Somebody's putting on good fights. You know what I'm saying? Some good fights. That's actually a good fight. You know what I'm saying?
Is that gonna be Showtime or Fox?
Showtime.
That's gonna be
Showtime.
regular TV.
Yeah.
It better be.
Yeah. And listen.
I mean, shoot.
After
that while, they better learn today. You know what I mean?
Be bootlegging that joint.
Yeah, Gervonta Davis going to Showtime in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And listen.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Yeah, it's a well. There's two. Well, Anthony Peterson is fighting on that card also. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony Peterson is fighting on that card.
Who he losing to?
I didn't say Lamar Peterson. I said Anthony Peterson.
Say he been losing, it don't matter. That's like it matters. They both taking the L's, dog.
Yeah.
Lamont retired. He next. This is gonna be his retirement.
So yeah, this is I got Tank. I see Tank doing what he got to do, and I see Badu Jack finally getting a decision that he rightfully deserves. You know what I'm saying? But they might make it a draw. But nah, you know what? It ain't in Canada, so they might get it right in Atlanta.
Ned, do you know Gamboa and Tank?
I know Tank.
You don't know Gamboa?
I know he's Baby Kaden. That's what I've been.
Thanks. I'm just gonna tell y'all like this.
Put some respect
When
on
I
Kaden's
start coming with the heat, I hope y'all can take it. Go ahead.
No disrespect, but you know Javante. I've watched a couple fights.
I don't know why Ned talking. He looked like a baby Wilder.
Stop. Cut it out.
What do you look like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead.
So you know.
I don't know about you guys, but I look like Canelo.
He look like $1 billion, baby.
You looking like Canelo.
Javante Gamboa. I'm gonna go with Javante since you know I think he's most likely that he's gonna win that fight. And I'm not familiar with Badu Jack or Jean Pascal, but I'm gonna root for I'm
God.
gonna root for the Haitian squad because you know
It's in their last name, Pascal. I'm rooting for him.
It's terrible, man. You don't know Badu Jack and you don't know Jean Pascal.
Nah.
That's why he's the cameraman.
Yeah.
But I'm getting familiar with these fighters. So next time we talk about them, I'll be well versed in their resumes.
Can you name to me one person that Jean Pascal has fought?
No, I cannot.
Bro,
No, we just
you
watched
at
it.
my crib?
You just seen the last fight.
Oh, wait, Marcus Brown.
Yeah, you should watch that fight.
I don't know.
We
Marcus,
did a
have
segment on this, bro.
Oh man, yeah, forgive me, man.
Damn, son. This is crazy.
On that card was what?
It's cool. Don't worry about it.
No, don't worry about it. It's
Don't
all
worry about it.
good.
Moving on.
True. GOE.
That card is pretty dope. Obviously I got Tank against Gamboa. To be honest with you, Gamboa's age, after when he fought Crawford, like he got knocked out that fight too, right?
Yeah, but
He was winning on
he was
the card.
winning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
to me, it's like Tank punches way harder than Crawford. So I think Tank's just going to
It
take
was
his head
different.
off.
Crawford was the bigger guy in
Yeah,
that fight.
but-
I mean, you gotta understand Gamboa coming from the lower weight class, 130, 126, and Gamboa is like the only thing is Tank gotta be able to take Gamboa for the first 4 rounds.
It's true too. This is gonna be. I'm not gonna say it's real test.
It is.
but it is. But for Tank, it is. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like he's gonna
Then go Gamboa then, bro. Go Gamboa.
I'm going Tank.
No, I'm going
You know what
Tank, but it's his first test. Gamboa is Tank's first real test. You know what I'm saying? And a guy that's gonna be bigger.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Shout out to Floyd and the money team. Because I like the fact that Badu Jack is getting, some airplay, you know what I mean? And, Floyd always finds a way to show love to, like, Jay Leon and Badu, so respect. But Pascal gonna knock your mans out, you know what I'm saying? And
Whose man is why I got me?
it was funny, because I hate how Pascal fight. He got the most unsecure legs in
Nobody
boxing.
said that Bottle Jack was
But-
that man. So.
I wanted Bottle Jack to run it back with Brown, actually.
But I'll say this, Pascal, them hooks be lethal though. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's gonna be that's gonna end by knockout. I don't think it's gonna go to decision.
And you got Pascal.
Yeah, I got Pascal and I got Tank on this one.
This
I got the heavy hitters winning that night.
This is a crazy fight because, Gamboa somehow got the name Baby Kaden. I can't pick against myself. Tank should handle business with Gamboa. He's like 37 years old. His best days are behind him, but it's not going to be easy. He's a slick fighter, and so Tank's going to have to put the hands on him. It's going to be difficult for a while, but I see him catching Gamboa and getting him out of there.
Gamboa Cuban, so it really means like 42 years old.
Yeah, I know. That's another reason why I'm picking Tank. But let me say this. If Tank does it better than Terrence Crawford did, well, it doesn't even matter. He's older now. So, but anyways, John Pascal and Badu Jack, that's actually a fight that's more entertaining and more competitive to me because I really don't know who's going to win that fight. And I'm going to go with Badu Jack in that fight, though, because I think Marcus Brown was beaten Jean Pascal, he just made mistakes. I don't think Bottle Jack's going to make those mistakes. Bottle Jack is a more seasoned professional. I think he's going to be aware that Jean Pascal is dangerous with them wild hooks. He's going to be prepared for that. True, did you pick Bottle Jack and Jean Pascal?
Yeah, I put Battle Jack over Jean Pascal. You know what I'm saying? But
Are we doing this official predictions for this?
We know enough about both fighters to make
that's
official
what
we'll make
predictions.
it official when it gets closer. You know?
Yeah, that's true too. It's not really here yet. That's why I'm not saying making it official. Just you leaning towards them. Yeah, but we usually make the official prediction the week of. I might change.
There we go.
Let me see Gamboa looking good. I'm coming in here.
He always looks good until you get hit. That 6-pack ain't never left.
Before that fight, we got TC is gonna be in there.
Yo, who he fighting?
Some dude's name
the machine.
is like the machine because
The
he's
machine.
saying his name.
But on the undercard, it's the Richard Comey and Teofimo Lopez fight.
See, y'all be saying,
that's a good fight.
Y'all constantly say poor Wilder. Y'all need to say poor TC because this brother get no food in
It's
this.
not poor TC.
It's not poor TC. You know why I don't say the reason why I say not poor TC? Because at least he's getting paid, yo.
Do we know how much he getting paid?
No, it's not even that he's getting paid. TC made a bad business decision when he decided to sign with Top Rank instead of going to the place that had all the fighters he needed.
No, but you know what though? But we I can't say that. You know why? Because then I have to say that, you know what I'm saying, he had to make the best thing for his family. You know why? Because Bob Arum gave him some crazy, ridiculous, I forgot what the money was that he gave him to re-sign. That he wasn't going to get no guarantee somewhere else. So he figured, listen, I'm going to take this guaranteed bread right here. You know what I'm saying? Right here,
I
what's
gotta
on the
look it
table
up,
right
man,
here.
how much money he got. 'Cause I
You know
don't
what I
remember
mean?
Well,
any
whatever
dollar
he
amounts
did,
being announced.
It was obviously it had to be
There's
good
no,
for
there's
him,
no
yeah.
poor TC because
Yeah.
he did
He
what
did
he
it, he
thought,
did,
so
yeah.
there's no poor TC for me. Now
And TC's happy with the decision he made.
Is he though?
No, he really is happy with the
he's
decision.
not complaining.
You ain't
He's
never.
co-
And
he's-
Bo Mack
yeah.
is speaking for him. Like, listen. Eventually, he say, listen. Like, okay, but he's guaranteed. He's making his millions. He's gonna make. It's not like he's every time he steps in there, he's gonna get $2 million. He's good. He's happy for where he's getting. You know what I'm saying?
He
TC
seems
is
okay with his deal.
He's
he
okay with his
complains
deal.
about not getting the fights,
But he doesn't. He complains about not getting the fights, but he's okay with his
yeah,
deal.
he never said anything about his deal.
You know what I'm saying? And he re-signed on his deal. That just goes to show, like, he's not in a rush. He's like, if it happens, it's happened. Let me just continue to
I
get
don't know
these
how
checks.
much he really wants those guys. It's the
Exactly.
oldest thing in the book to just be like,
Exactly.
oh, I want this fight, I want that fight, but
Exactly.
never really take
And he's
the fight.
the only one that mentions across the street. None of these guys ever say anything about it. They always like, yo, if he wanted to make the fight, he'll come over here. And he didn't. He stayed where he stayed over there,
and he's
where
acting like everybody's scared of him.
He
Yeah.
went over there where he's the only guy, so he doesn't have to worry about no smoke. He stays getting a check, and he stays being the longest reigning champion.
There's only one guy I know who's across the street and said, I'll fight anybody, anywhere, and that's Tyson Fury.
You know what I'm saying?
Alright. So we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna go with two topics that I'm sorry.
Yeah, y'all just looked over Dillian, yo. He was fighting this weekend too.
Oh, we already know that, but Dillian's this is a showcase. This is a Dillian White showcase, dog. Like
Listen, poor Dillian. Dillian should have been fighting last week for that WBC belt.
word, Dillian should have been fighting last week. for the
This old guy
WBC.
got a chance to fight for that belt twice.
Yeah, when you think about it, that sounds so right.
Yo, it does, right? Poor Dillian.
Yo,
He's
you
never
been
gonna-
Dillian, yo,
so long,
yo,
and you
never
gotta
gonna
watch
fight
the
with
whole
a
Hey, yo,
fight
and now
twice.
they're saying that UCAD might be dirty. Yo, so this is just yeah. I saw an article that said UCAD might be dirty. So
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't
So you
even.
tell me he's going through all this for no reason?
They're never
He
deep.
best to sue.
They don't like him, yo.
He best to sue.
They don't want him to have their belt. He better go just buy a green belt. Gucci sells green belts. He better just go get a Gucci belt. It's green.
Yo, he
You know what I'm
better
saying?
just fight Marcelo's Wilder and knock him out, just for the satisfaction.
Listen, they
Just
paying
for
Marcelo
satisfaction.
Wallace never to fight again.
Yo,
They're gonna pay him never to fight again.
They need to pay Dilly. Please get Marcelo's Wilder in the ring and take him out of there.
Ain't gonna be sponsored by the WBC.
At least you got a Wilder.
Yes, they will. They'll sponsor that. It won't
At least you'll have a Wilder.
Oh, my goodness.
So
He's gonna have a while.
briefly, we're gonna talk about a fight that may be in the works. Alexander Usyk versus Derek War Chisora. I gotta give you that. And we're turning immediately to Trill for his thoughts on this fight.
Usyk all the way. Usyk all 12 rounds. Listen, I remember, man, I forgot, right? I do know who Derek Chisora was. This whole time I was like, nobody knows who this bum is. Nobody knows who this bum is. I was going crazy. I was mad at my co-host. I was like, nobody knows this. Why are we still talking about this guy? Now I remember this punk. I remember he got pieced up by David Hay. This is the punk who got beat up by David Hay outside the ring.
That's his promoter. Don't be talking.
You know what
about
I'm saying? And he started. Listen, it makes it even worse. He beat him up, and now he's promoting him. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, David Hay had them haymakers.
David Hay made them at that press conference. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the actual. I'm talking about at the press conference. He put hands on him. And still got him working for him. You know what I'm saying?
Man, Pippen ain't
David Hay glassed him. He glassed him, bro.
He put hands on him.
He glassed him.
Oh, man.
He drunk some of his drink and then pieced him.
Nah, but hold on, Trill. I get it, Trill. You don't really like Chisora, but
Chisora's
all
a clown.
hate. Remove all hate.
Chisora's a clown.
But remove all hate. You really got
Usyk.
okay.
I'm going with the undisputed cruiserweight champion, Usyk.
All right, respect.
You know what I'm saying? Yusuf's gonna win every round. I won't be surprised. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go right here on my prediction. It's not going full rounds. It's not going full 12. Yusuf is gonna stop him. He's gonna stop him. He's gonna stop him. He's not going 12.
All right.
He's gonna stop him.
Yo, Dad, you agree?
He's gonna stop him.
Yeah,
He's
it's gonna be
quit
an
on this
entertaining
stool.
fight. I know that. Like Derek Chisora's gonna bring him.
No, it's not gonna be an entertaining fight. When have you
It's
ever seen this
entertaining
dude?
build up.
All right, cool. It's gonna be an
Sorry about that.
entertaining press conference,
Yes.
not an entertaining fight. Because I went back to watch some Chisora. He don't have no entertaining fights.
Like last
Except for
week,
when he's
last
picking
time
himself
we
up
spoke
off
about
the ground.
Chisora, when he was supposed to fight Joseph Parker, we was like, this is gonna be his last fight. That may be his last fight. I honestly think so.
So
This is-
who you got?
I got Usyk. Man.
Yeah, Usyk beating Derek
Yeah.
War Chisora.
Yeah, I'm being
Every
honest
round.
with y'all. I agree with both of y'all. I got Chisora on this one. Yeah, I'm be honest. I'm still not a Usyk fan like that, and I watched a couple of his fights. He doesn't really have power.
Wait, did you pick War Chisora just now?
Yeah, I'm so serious. You know what I mean? And the reason why is because I don't think he has that power. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're around the same height. So, but the power differential is what I have to factor in. I think Chisora's going to probably just wait for this dude to throw a jab, and he's just going to come in with them hooks. And then we're going to see if he can handle that type of power. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a safer bet to go with Chisora versus Usyk because I don't think Usyk's gonna knock him out anyways. Usyk, if he's gonna win, it's gonna be by decision.
Usyk's gonna win every round, and dude's gonna quit. Chisora's gonna quit. Chisora ain't knocking nobody out, yo. Damn. He don't got the skills. At the end of the day, even at the end of the day, Usyk got more skills.
Which is true, but he ain't got the heavyweight power.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
quicker and
Like.
younger.
I just want to say, y'all are all tripping. Listen to the names on Chisora's resume. Tyson Fury.
Lost.
Vitaly Klitschko.
Lost.
Pulev.
But them was his names.
Lost.
Them was his names.
Dillian White.
Lost.
Hey, according to Complex, if you fight them, they're on your resume.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, listen.
Crazy.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Then John Molina is the man then.
Eric Molina. Oh, John Molina. The Molinas. The Molinas in the man.
Oh,
Nah, honestly, I get what you're saying about War Chisora. But Alexander Usyk is coming from the cruiserweight divisions. I saw what he did to an old Tony Bellew. And, like, I've never really seen Usyk and thought, man, this guy's great. But he continues to win. and he finds ways to win. And you gotta respect those guys. Those are the guys who like they fight to the level of their competition. And when you always find a way to win, you gotta respect it. I respect the fact that
Like a boo-boo.
Huh?
Like a boo-boo.
Yeah, that he always finds a way to win. But bump all that. Derek Ward Chisora, baby.
That's what we talking
You
about.
know what I'm saying? The press conference and the fight is over on that night. They better not make that fight. Yo, I'm in there with Derek Ward Chisora if they do. Easy peasy.
I'll bet on that fight. I'll bet. Put your money in.
I ain't got that for.
Wait. How much we talking?
You know what I'm saying?
I will go over 5.
Anything over 10, I'm all set.
Maybe 10. Maybe 10.
I don't want no parts of his over 10.
All right, well, we're going to move on to a real heavyweight fight. This is our last topic we're going to discuss. Will we see Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2 in February? True?
Yes, I believe that we will see that fight. The reason why I think that we will see that fight, because Bob is already spending money on the fight. You know how much it costs for those big old posters? Those big old posters, and Bob ain't in the. He won't give you money even if you deserve it. Bob ain't trying to give you no money. So for him to go out his way to spend his money on those big posters and those 13 by something cards to pass out, like he's definitely he sees it happen, and he sees his guy winning. He sees his guy winning. I hear him. He's talking all types of greasiness. Look, they even went and found the heavyweight reign championship belt. Nobody has seen that in years. They went and found it. They was asking Lennox, did he have it? He said, no, I never had it. They asked Mike if he had it. He said, no, he never had it. You know what I'm saying? They went and they found it. They dusted off. It's the same one. They got it's dingy and everything. They still got the same one that Rocky Marciano had. And whoever wins is gonna get this Ring Magazine belt. You know what I'm saying? And I believe it's gonna happen. I believe it's definitely gonna happen, and this is gonna be very exciting. I think the build-up's gonna be exciting.
They went to the pawn shop that Tyson Fury sold it to for like a pound of coke.
Yeah. You know what I mean? We found it. We located the Ring Magazine belt.
They found some black market somewhere.
They dusted it off, and we got ourselves a fight. I think it's gonna happen. Bob is like, listen. He wants like what you say, Caden, 2 episodes ago. He said he only got 2 summers left.
Bob not playing. He making all the fights.
Yeah, so that fight's definitely happening.
Ned, what you think?
Of course, that fight's definitely happening. For some reason, every time I speak to GG's, like Fury's gonna make some excuse to get out the fight. He doesn't want to fight Wilder.
Yo, hold on,
but
time
Fury,
out. Why you keep looking at the camera?
my bad, man.
I did too. I caught myself doing it too.
It's just
Yo,
practice.
don't interrupt my man.
Yeah.
Please, bro. Yo, go ahead.
So-
man. Go ahead.
So Fury states like, yo, Wilder, like he wants Wilder, like Wilder is a bum, like that's what he's saying, like he's going to.
He's a darcer, a big useless
Yeah,
darcer.
it's like the guy only has 1 punch, and if he thinks he's gonna beat a skilled fighter with a puncher's chance, he's wrong. And you know, we all saw Fury was robbed the first fight, and I think he's gonna come. And this time, you know, Fury slipped up. He did get a little lackadaisical with his defense and started clowning Wilder, and Wilder connected, but I don't think he's gonna come in with that type of relaxed that type of mindset again. You know, he's gonna be real to take the fight a little serious now.
Yeah, Tyson Fury been going on a bum tour. Like he's a bum.
Anybody he's gonna finish the bum tour off.
Anybody he talks to.
He's taking all bums. Right, G.
Yo, man, listen.
Are we going to see the fight in February, man?
I mean, probably, but I wouldn't be surprised if your man Fury backs out, you know, with a mythical injury, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. You know what I mean? Or I could see him possibly backing out just to fight AJ. I could see Fury doing all kinds of stuff. Fury is the most sporadic heavyweight in the division. He's going to just do what he wants to do. Contract, no contract. I hope he takes the fight because I want to see him arrive in February to his funeral. But hey, it is Fury, so I don't know.
Can I say something? I don't see him backing out the Wilder fight. I think he'll beat Wilder first, then go unify with AJ, if anything.
That's
so
what
he
we
can get
hope.
all his belts.
That's
But
what
he
you
wouldn't
hope.
back
I
out to
actually
fight
I'll
AJ.
say.
It could happen. He could back out. But listen, you know why he won't back out? Because Deontay Wilder's a big skinny little hoop man with spaghetti legs. Listen. Let me tell you something.
That was a pretty good impression.
He's running to that fight, like Trill said. Deontay Wilder fans have somehow convinced themselves that Fury's running from this fight. When if you know boxing, you know he's running to this fight. Listen, people are so silly, man. They'll talk about his last two performances, right? Like, one, he totally dominated, what was the guy's name? Tom Schwartz or whatever. That was just easy work. He said, let me go southpaw and bust him up in 2 rounds. And then his fight with Otto Wallin, which he got cut, but he still beat him. If anything, he showed, like, even if you cut him, he'll still fight. He still got the dog in him, and he still survived. Like, a lot of people argued, he should have lost. The ref should have stopped it. Last time I checked, he won, and the cut didn't get that much worse, so no, they shouldn't have stopped it. But saying all that, my point is, when Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury fought the first time, Tyson Fury was coming off 2 tune-up fights. The same way he's coming off 2 tune-up fights. And he looked worse in those other 2 tune-up fights the first time, still went in the ring and boxed circles around Deontay Wilder. So the Deontay Wilder supporters who say, he didn't look good against Otto Wallin, he didn't look good in his other tune-up fights. He looked worse. Still went in the ring and beat Deontay Wilder for 12 rounds. So to me, he actually looked better. And when I say he looked better, he looked like a guy who's working on things. Like, he looked like a guy who went southpaw against Tom Schwartz, and people say, what is he doing? He's practicing when he goes southpaw against Deontay Wilder. They see him go and he's doing certain things. When he gets Deontay Wilder in that ring, I think you're going to see a guy who was more confident than the first time. And also, people forget this, because they say AJ's mentally weak. But I've never seen AJ crying before a fight. Deontay Wilder was crying after that press conference. They just had a press conference. They just got off the stage. Tyson Fury won it 10-8. And then Deontay Wilder was in a room crying, talking to his fiance. Tyson Fury literally sent the man crying to his girl. Yo, heavyweight champion of the world. Yes. No, you never seen that? Hold on, man. Let me pull that up right now.
Yeah, he was sitting there. He was like, "You
I'm just so angry when I get mad.
I know, baby. I know. Come here. I know.
Yep.
Just
like I know,
Wilder kills
baby.
me, yo. He knows how to turn around everything that goes against him, yo. He gets outboxed. He goes, it's not about being outboxed. He knows he got to box 12 good rounds.
I only got to ride 12 seconds.
Yeah, 12 seconds.
Yeah, I got to be like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like Tyson Fury is. We're gonna look back.
Al Heyman watched the internet of that too.
But
you could see it. It was on the build-up on Showtime. Yeah, you can see he was
crying,
bro.
Yeah,
it was Showtime, all access.
Yeah, all access. Yeah, he was sitting there crying.
Because Tyson Fury schooled the bum. You know what I'm saying? In the press conference, hurt his feelings.
Yo, let's hear him.
Yo, True, man, we used to make fun of those guys. Yo, they be crying. Yo, I cry when I get mad. That's your man, yo.
She was like, all right, baby.
She's like, it's okay.
It's okay, baby.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
She looked like she was scared for him.
He was money making.
Man, let me tell y'all.
Money making.
Everybody ever looked at me wrong? Funny.
You know what I'm gonna be doing for Black History Month? Eating fish and chips.
Exactly.
That's food.
And we gonna be eating wild wings on his dime, baby. On his dime.
I'll tell you, it's still gonna be on his dime.
No, not that fight. That's that $250 fight right there.
The thing with Tyson Fury, you can't. I always tell people, don't ever look too much into the last person that they fought. First of all, we ain't never seen nobody fight the kid Wally. We don't know what he got. Even though Tyson Fury was cut, I still had Tyson Fury winning the rounds. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing they should be talking about is the cut. And I don't even think the cut's going to be an issue. He's seen a good, a specialist in California, and he's seen the #1 plastic surgeon in the UK for the eye. So I don't even think that that's going to be an issue. I think this fight will take place, and I think that Wilder can win this fight. He can win this fight, but he needs to box. He needs to throw that jab. He cannot let rounds go by and just think about this right hand, because now that we have a Fury who's been active, and you're not gonna beat a Fury with just one hand. The great Klitschko couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I know you're not gonna say that Deontay Wilder is better than Klitschko. You know what I'm saying? So if the great Klitschko couldn't do it, you know what I'm saying, then Deontay Wilder must know that he can't do it. I'm going to need the same Deontay Wilder that fought Stavern the first time. I'm going to need him to show up. That when there had the hard jab, had his hands up and was moving, was using the ring. He's going to have to box to do this. Him just holding that right hand, waiting to land it. Listen, it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a long night. He needs to stop listening to that cheerleader he has in his corner.
That's right.
And start listening to that brother he has.
I agree.
Listen,
The brother will tell him how to win that fight. The other guy that he got in the corner just be like, wait to the right hand, baby. It's coming. It's coming. Just relax. It's right. It's coming. You're the man, baby. You're the man. That's the only thing he was doing.
let me tell you something right now. The man's just a big useless doss. Okay? Tyson Fury is healthy as a trout, flicked as a fiddle.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see how he trolled Deontay Wilder on Urban Dictionary?
No, wait.
Yeah, he was like,
Oh
look
yeah,
at
Dawson. It's a whole bunch of definitions that a Wilder. This and
Wait, Urban Dictionary now is Deontay Wilder?
every definition for Dawson it was
It's like
associated with Deontay
WBO
Wilder.
champion of the world.
WBC.
Useless bum who lost, who was given a draw against Tyson Fury.
Yeah, it was
Kept
bad.
his going.
Urban Dictionary did that?
Yeah,
Yo, Fury's that dude. You know what I love about Fury? Fury's that dude, because Wilder tried to pull, even when they were at the press conference, Wilder was like, yeah, when I move, you move. And then Fury was like, just like that. And I could tell he was like, he knows that.
That's the problem. He know he's more. That's what is
Fury's
really
more hip than he is. That's what's getting him.
Yeah, is that fight gonna be on ESPN or the?
It's gonna be pay-per-view.
It's gonna be pay-per-view, yeah.
It's definitely gonna be pay-per-view. ESPN pay-per-view. But it's gonna be pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely gonna be pay-per-view.
So how much? ESPN pay-per-view, was that cheaper or the same price?
I don't know, who cares? I'm knocking you spark out, bum!
Yeah, and he should that press conference. He need to leave the press conferences alone, because there's certain people.
He can't win with Tyson.
He's like a Charlo. He can't win.
He's like that dude who's just like, you getting roasted, he's like, your mom.
Your mother.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna beat you up.
Haters.
Yeah, you know he stands no chance in the press conference. With
Yeah, I
Tyson
know.
Fury. Yo, the very first press conference, from the first time I saw the press conference, I was like, oh, because I was worried. You remember, I was worried Fury was coming and he was just coming to get a check. After that first press conference, I was like, Fury got him a fish. Fury thinks he got him a fish. Like, yo.
Nah, Fury, how he breaks down a fighter, like he truly believes that he can beat Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in his mind.
Oh, yeah.
Like he really, truly.
He doesn't just believe it, he wants to do it.
And here's the thing. I have yet to see Deontay Wilder in there with a guy that thinks that they really can.
Thank you, bro. Everyone
You know what I'm saying?
already came in there thinking they lost. Fury's the first guy he ever fought who came to win.
Yeah, that was had it in their back of their mind, like I'm winning this fight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's different. Like he has no respect for Wilder.
He's not afraid of him.
He's not afraid of
He
him.
didn't give a damn about that right hand.
And he really doesn't respect him. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't respect him at all. You know what I mean? He doesn't respect him. His gangster. Nothing. We should be talking about Tony Harrison and him. Because that's what it is.
We're gonna have to get into that. You know,
Never time.
I don't know how long we've been going, but this is the first Boxing Bros
First
podcast.
edition of the Boxing Bros podcast.
Trill, tell them where they can find.
Listen, you can find us all everywhere, every streaming site. You can find Boxing Bros podcast, and you can also find us on YouTube. And check us out. You find more information on Boxing Bros and our podcast and our episodes on our social media. That's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. It's the Boxing Bros. Successful Boxing Bros podcast, too.
Peace.
Peace.